Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh, I feel so happy. I got to eat some fried fish. I also got to eat multiple eyes, which I like to eat. Fish eyes, fried fish eyes are delicious. I was given 4 extra ones. I'm like, thanks, Dad. Like, eat this. Like, okay, Father. Delicious. Nom nom nom. Yes, my stomach is happy. And here I go. I clicked on the first record for Warfarin. I accidentally pressed play already. But don't worry, it's still the beginning. Hello. And yes, I love adobo, though over here it's mainly chicken adobo. 10:32 p.m. Late drizzle. Chernobog post-battle ruins. Hey, is anyone here? It's gotten really dark. Just walked past the school, the cake shop, and the tailor shop that Rolena's mom used to run. If I keep going straight, I'll be in the next district. Damn it! The road is barely walkable. Those nutjobs with the masks. Everything's changed all of a sudden, thanks to them. Yuri, where are you? We were together just a moment ago. I was just trying to get us some water that we can drink. Yuri's the youngest, and he's the most hurt. Where could he have gone by himself? Right, his wound was still bleeding. If I look out for the smell of blood, it smells like blood everywhere. It stinks. Oh man, with chapter 9 though, oh my bestie Janie. And her bestie Sadness. And all the explosions. And our awesome elite operator who sacrificed herself. So much drama. No, I can't throw up. It took Oleg so long to find us dinner in the ruins. Yuri. Is the sound coming from behind the wall? A small animal, maybe? Probably not. Everything that was alive in the street ran away a long time ago. We're the only ones left. Whimpers. There it is again. It doesn't sound like the wind. Could it really be? Yuri? Yuri, is that you? It quieted down. Am I too far away? What was behind the wall again? The department store's old storeroom? That storeroom's been empty the whole time, and the adults would never let us close to it. Oleg even said before that he'd help us sneak inside one day. Did Yuri come in here by himself? It's so dark. I can't see through the gaps. Damn it! I guess I'm gonna have to climb inside. A medic who's a vampire. You know, that seems fine. Especially if I could just be like, instead of paying the medical bill, could I just give you some blood? It's even darker in here. My face is all sticky. Is it the rain that drips in from outside? Erg, it smells. Now I remember. The girls in the school said there's something weird inside the storeroom. It's gotta be fake. But I've already seen so many weird things going on these past few days. No, don't think about that right now, Anton. Don't be scared. You still need to find Yuri. Whimpers. Someone's crying. Someone's crying over on that side. Now I heard it this time. Yuri? Is that you? Anton? Anton? Yeah, it's me. I'm here. You don't need to be scared no more. I'll climb over there. Give me a second. Help me. Hang in there. I'm almost there. What happened anyway? Why'd you run this far on your own all of a sudden? Isn't your leg hurt? There was a monster. A monster? What are you talking about, Yuri? Do you have a fever? A monster brought me here. The monster you're talking about. What does it look like? I couldn't get a good look. I think it had black claws and it had red eyes. It stared at me. I was so scared, I didn't know what was going on at all. Black claws and red eyes? I think I've heard that before. When I think of black claws and red eyes, I'm like, oh, is it the monster from Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it Red Eyes? Oh yeah, that's the ghost story that Lena from school talked about, right? Yeah, Lena said she said any kids that don't go to bed at night will get a visit from the monster. It'll keep staring at you. If your eyes are open and lock onto her red eyes, your soul will get sucked out right away. You'll turn into something like a marionette. You'll climb over your bed with the monster and follow it outside and onto the street. Then you'll keep following it until you reach its nest. There, the monster will hang you up on the eaves, just like how he hangs sausages at home. And when it's hungry, it'll come suck your blood, one mouthful after another until your body's bone dry. Anton, I can't possibly have. Stop it, you're scaring yourself. This is just something adults made up to get us to go to bed early, I'm sure of it. Really? Well, think about it. Did it hang you up? There's something holding my leg. Somewhere up high. What? So, what Lena said's actually real, right? Anton! I don't want to be eaten by the monster. It's okay. I'll be there soon. We just gotta be fast. I'll carry you back before whatever it is comes back. Yeah, no. Anton, stay away. Go back. I can see you now, Yuri. What's this? A nightmare that walks the night. A monster who kidnaps children and sucks their blood dry. Their bodies stink of blood. They have eyes that glow crimson red. Ah! Got you now. She doesn't seem scary to me. No, stay away. Don't come any closer. I won't let you hurt Yuri. Me? Hurt him? Boy, what do you think I'm trying to do? You want to suck his blood, you blood-sucking monster! Well, it's been a long while since anyone has called me that. Yes, that's right. I'm a vampire. My. Your reaction's not too bad for someone who looks so frail. Did she just bonk him? But you know, if we're going there, you'll need a bigger brick to throw at me. Oh, never mind. I'm a vampire. We are swift beyond measure and rank among the mightiest devil races. And have you seen these fangs? I can easily tear a cisty beast's neck apart. Holding still, smart choice. Monster, let Yuri go. He's hurt and he's lost a lot of blood. He definitely doesn't have as much blood as I do. You can hang me up. You're hungry, suck my blood. No, Anton, don't do that. Very well, since you found this place. She's so fast. I can't move my hand. It hurts. I can't dodge it. Is this how it's like to get bitten? There you go. There I go. I'm still standing upright. I don't feel dizzy either. Just that bit of blood will do. You're really healthy. It shouldn't leave you with any side effects. So, are you gonna take me home and make me sausage? Sausage? Is that some Ursa's specialty? It sounds nice. If I ever get to come here again after I'm done with this job, maybe I'll give it a try. Compass? Compass, are you there? I'm here, Dr. Warfarin. I'm working so hard, I'm practically sweating blood. And here you are just standing there watching the show.
Haha, well, I only just got here. Besides, it looks like you're enjoying yourself.
Doctor? You mean this blood-sucking monster's a doctor? Look at this, Compass. The kids just don't stop calling me a blood-sucking monster. Do you think I'm like a saint for letting them off with just a little scare? You're scaring us?
Let me explain. Little buddy, I found your friend while I was out on a mission. He was all alone, and it looked like he was hurt pretty bad. I was worried about his safety, so I brought him here. He was kind of drifting off and passed out halfway though, so I couldn't explain to him what was going on. Dr. Warfarin is one of our top doctors. She's very experienced. You can trust her to patch your friend up.
Also, little boy, I don't know who's the most intimidating doctor at our Rhodes Island. I feel like that would go to Gaviel.
Oh? And you know how she took a bit of your blood just now? She was just taking a blood sample to run some tests.
Tests? Okay, the results are out. What's that Ursus saying again? This young man is as lively as a wild bird and beast. Congratulations, boy. You are not infected yet. Infected? You mean erypathy? That's right. These days, you're probably one of the luckiest ones around if you're both alive and uninfected in Chernobog. Your friend there isn't quite as lucky. Is something wrong with Yuri? All I can say is we took care of him before it's too late, and you've got me. If Volinik had been in charge of the area, he probably wouldn't have gotten such a wonderful patch-up job.
Ahem. If she heard that, I'm sure she'd be mad.
And what do I care if she's mad? She still has much to learn. What am I expecting for Chapter 10? More trolling the enemy. Or actually, just more of the green cat girl. And what do I care she's mad? She still has much to learn. Can't she figure out right away where the originium crystals are building up just by the changes in the smell of his blood? Also, hopefully, Horn and Bagpipe meeting up together. After Bagpipe was yeeted. For patients like him, who just started to show symptoms, we need to do more than just take care of their wounds. To keep the infection from progressing, we also need to prevent the originium that's already in their bodies from forming lesions around the wounds. The suppressants that are out on the market can only alleviate symptoms. Even if I'm on the case, the most I can do is minimize the risk of the disease getting any worse. Did you hang Yuri's leg up like that to help him? Well, yeah, I guess. This is an idea I've wanted to try out for a while. In his case, it should be more effective by a few percentage points. It's so low, I guess it's probably within the margin of error. I might need to find a few more patients to test this out on.
Ahem, Dr. Warfarin. If you keep going, the young gentleman will start trembling again.
I get it, you saved us. Thanks. You can thank me later. We need to keep your friend, this Yuri boy, under observation to see how his condition turns out. If he actually becomes infected, well, let's not go into that right now.
Hey, Anton. You can rest up a little while here with Yuri. Once it's bright outside, I'll take you to our camp.
Your camp?
That's right. We have a camp here. We'll be pulling out of Chernobog soon. When that happens, we'll escort you two to a nearby Ursa city. That is, if Yuri doesn't show any signs of further infection.
There's Oleg and the others too. There are 5 of us. We're together.
Is that so? Okay, I'll look for them then. Dr. Warfarin will give them a checkup too. If all of you stay together, you will live up to be you will live on. Your will to live on will be stronger too.
Doctor? I have another question. What is it? Are you really a blood-sucking monster? Brandishes fangs.
Makes you want to take a step back, huh? No? What a brave kid. To be honest, I've known Dr. Warfarin for a long time, and I know she may seem like she has a few screws loose.
I heard that.
She's a very skilled doctor, it's just, when you're strapped on the operating table all of a sudden, it does kind of give you chills.
That's just your instincts at work. I forgive you. It's like sandworms running into a metal crab, or some other tiny meat beast running into more ferocious beasts. Of course, you'd be scared coming face to face with a vampire. And you better stay scared. Most vampires out there aren't nearly as nice as me or Closure.
Haha.
Back to our little buddy's question. Maybe half and half? Half and half? My interest in blood doesn't manifest as thirst anymore. So, a monster then? So you don't get mad if you're called a monster? Well, to you, I am a monster, no doubt about that. I've never wished for you people to treat me as your own kind, and I don't see the other races as my equals either. Oh, Warfarin is one of the co-founders for Rhodes Island? Oh, nice. And well, if I'm a monster just because I'm unlike the others, then everyone out there can be called a monster too. For example, if your friend Yuri actually becomes infected, then a lot of people will call him a monster. I won't call him a monster. What about the others? It won't be easy for you to change how they see him. If they insist on calling him a monster, I'll fight them off. See? You're mad, aren't you? You'll fight them off and they'll fight back, even if nobody dies in all that fighting. It'll be a waste of time, don't you think? A waste of time? Yes, a waste of time. While you're angry, your friend may die of his disease. If you take a step back and think it through slowly, you'll find that instead of being angry, it makes more sense to spend your energy working out more important or meaningful things. For you, I suppose that's figuring out how you want to live? Live. Right. You want to live. That's right. And if you want to live a better life, you need to learn to accept that you are different and then figure out how to get along with others. One more thing, buddy. Once you grow up, be sure to travel to all kinds of places and see what it's like everywhere. That way, you'll probably come to understand that being seen as a monster is nothing worth getting angry over. So did they ever find the other kids? Whatever happened to them? A really serious time. Time to adopt some children. Dr. Warfarin, is there something wrong with me? Yep, we got a big problem. Huh? You got taller. Don't scare me like that. This is serious. It's been 2 centuries since I got any taller. Your physical indicators are all normal, and your ripathy is pretty stable too. Not bad. But if you can, try not to take your rings off after you get to Londinium. Though I guess I can't expect you to hear me out on that one. Dr. Warfarin, are you mad that we're going to Londinium? Mad? Amiya, tap into your powers and look at me. How am I feeling? Very calm. Looks like I'm not so muddled that I can't figure out my own emotions. Not yet, anyway. 200 years ago, I probably would have had something to say about this. These days, though, I'm not going to get upset over something decided by destiny. If I have the time, I might as well do some research. Some more research. Decided by destiny? What do you mean? Like how you're destined to fight this fight. And Londinium's destined to face war, death, and hate. But... Stop, I know what you're going to say, and I've heard it more times than I care to count. I'm not trying to blame you, and I'm not angry. If this was enough to piss me off, I would have been pissed to death centuries ago. Here, let me draw some blood, for blood work. Okay. That reminds me. Have I ever told you why I became a doctor, even though I'm a vampire? Oh, I feel like you have. I think you said you used to be a very aggressive, violent lady. Because you had a thirst for blood like the rest of your kind. But in the end, you got tired of fighting.
Oh, so I told you already, huh? Humph. And here I just came up with a story about being a vampire heroine. I was looking forward to duping some fools with it.
I don't think a lot of people would ever fall for that. Now that's hard to say. It might just help me rebuild my dignified image here at Rhodes Island. Your image is what it is because you keep doing things like that.
Well, fine. It's not like I actually care about this anyway. I digress, but there's one thing I definitely haven't told you. The truth is, it doesn't matter how much you like doing something. If you keep doing it for 100 years, you're bound to get tired of it. Most vampires are sick of fighting for exactly that reason. But at the same time, a century of doing the same thing also eventually turns it into a habit. And when everyone in your tribe has this habit, it becomes a tribe's social norm. In other words, it's a social norm for us vampires who thirst for blood and war. And to this day, I still haven't overcome my social norm.
But you haven't ever had any real accidents on the ship?
Of course not. I've trained myself for 2 whole centuries. The stuff you see me pulling is just a pastime of mine. Don't look at me like that. I'll admit, I do lose control when I'm with the doctor. But about that, I've actually come up with a few ideas ever since we started getting all this new blood on the ship. Still need some tinkering though. Let's shelve that topic for now. Anyway, the reason I became a doctor is a simple one. I got tired of war. I got sick of it. And I chose to reject the vampire social norm, and while I looked for a way to overcome my instincts, I inevitably became a medical researcher.
Is that how you met Dr. Kelsey?
Well, she's a mysterious one. She holds a bunch of titles, but she's a doctor, alright? And I can see why you think that's how we met. Though, in your view, is she really the kind of woman who'd sit down and discuss medical theory? Or actually, do I look like that kind of woman to you?
But you met each other a long time ago, didn't you?
Wait a second. Should be this one, I think. Wait, no. This is the book that we did together later. What's this stinking thing all falling apart? Oh, now I remember. This is the journal where my first dissertation was published, and I kept it after it ceased publication. Do I remember Misery? I gotta look up. I'm bad with names. If I don't see the name a lot, let me look up real quick. So after I see a face, and I'll remember. Hopefully. Okay, that guy. Was he the super duper techie guy? Or is it a different guy that I'm thinking of who is super duper techie? And if not, oops. Nah, actually there's multiple techie dudes. Okay, that was Mechanist. Sorry, Misery. There we go. These magazines here.
These are from decades ago.
I wrote for this magazine at the time, and then one day, some dipshit showed up to write a long article supposedly poking holes in all of my theories. The key thing here is that I wasn't wrong, but all the things she pointed out were indeed issues that I neglected or didn't consider. I wasn't about to sit down and take all that from her, so I followed her reasoning and did my experiment again, and it actually gave me better results. Back then, basically anyone could publish whatever in a magazine, and her article was one of the few that I thought was up to snuff.
And she was?
Kelsey, of course. She didn't even bother to use a pen name. Decades ago. Oh man, Dr. Kelsey, I want to know how old you are, but at the same time, that's rude to ask. I think she bonked me. You know what? What really pissed me off, though? I wrote a dozen or so articles after that in response, but she never submitted again. That sounds just like Dr. Kelsey. Until one day, a woman representing Teresa, the Sarcasm King, invited me to join them. She even pulled out all these magazines and told me she was that very Kelsey. So what happened then? I blasted her out the door and never wrote for the magazine again. I still remember when Dr. Kelsey said she was going to take me to see another doctor. I thought you were her friend. Oh. Misery was one of the elite operator outcasts? Okay. Oh man, that's sad then. Warfarin, this is an official summons from the Royal Court. How dare you disobey us? Little fella, I've lived for a long time now. Do you know how many Royal Court fancy folk I've met, and how many of them I kicked right out my door? I liked Outcast. Outcast was cool. This is war. The fate of our kind hangs in the balance. What did you do to me? Stand here for another 10 seconds and your blood will start to coagulate. 15 seconds later, you'll be a statue. If you leave now, you can still make it out alive. Impossible. I've never heard of a vampire power like this. You're welcome to stay and see for yourself. Ah! Don't you think you can disobey the Royal Court? Yeah, I've heard that plenty of times too. Looks like I need to find a new place to live. Again, I've made plenty of money, so maybe it's high time I move to Victoria. All this medical equipment would be a pain to haul there, though. Hey, Warfarin, can you really turn people into statues? Of course not, I was just scaring him. Well, alright. I didn't know you were such a big shot, though. Oh, shut up. I told you long ago that I'm a famous doctor among the vampires. None of us has ever heard of any vampire doctors to begin with. Why are you out here in the middle of nowhere, then? Because I want to be. Because we're close to the castle border, which makes it easy to mail dissertations out of the country. What's going on today? There's no end to this stream of unwelcome visitors, is there? Who are you? Someone seeking medical help. Too bad. I don't treat those who fight in wars. I'll chase her away for you, Warfarin. By yourself? Forget it. Better keep your blood in your body. Take the medicine and bring it home to your mother. Okay. Your reputation precedes you here. It's nowhere near as thunderous as your name. So, what's the big idea, Kelsey? You of all people need treatment from me? I'm not the one who needs treatment. She is. Aw, it's Baby Mia. Hello. You know my rules, Kelsey. No matter how you slice it, Teresa is fighting in this war, and you work for Teresa. No matter who you bring to me, I won't take them as a patient. Teresa's dead, Warfarin. This girl is the new king of Sarkaz. At the time, you only came up to my elbow. At this rate, you'll be taller than me in a few years. 4 years have flashed right by. I was actually really surprised when I first met you too. Because I don't look like a doctor? Yes. Whatever, it's not like I care about keeping up arrogant appearances like Kelsey.
I remember Dr. Kelsey saying Rhodes Island was preparing to leave Casdell, and the facilities on board were in varying degrees of disrepair, so she had to take me somewhere else for treatment. She told me she was taking me to see a vampire doctor, but that she's special and that she likes research more than blood. And though when I think of Rhodes Island doctors, I still just think of scary people, honestly. I mean, out of all of them, I think the least terrifying is probably Ansel. Yeah. Or, no, I can't say Hibiscus because her food is scary. She has terrifying food. Warfarin seems pretty chill. She also said that the doctor is very skilled, and that the royal court tries to enlist her services every time there's a war, but she always turns them down. She told you the truth, huh? Here I thought she'd exaggerate things to sully my name. Speaking of which, may I ask you a question, Dr. Warfarin? If that'll get you to stop sticking a doctor in front of my name. Theoretically, you're my superior now. But you're the one who saved my life. Besides, it was you and Dr. Kelsey who built the foundations of Rhodes Island's medical section together. Maybe nobody else knows that, but I do. Oh, fine, I get it. Ask away. Why did you join Rhodes Island, Dr. Warfarin? Why? To research medicine and save lives. But Rhodes Island back then isn't anything like Rhodes Island of today. At the time, we were entirely focused on getting out of Casdell. So why did you accept Dr. Kelsey's request?
How's Amia's condition? Physically, there's not much wrong with her, but her mental condition is a bit tricky. Most likely because she's the king. She talks in her sleep, she unconsciously reads the emotions of others, and she has trouble controlling her powers. A normal doctor probably wouldn't know where to begin with her. That's why I came to you. And I thought you'd at least stay and help take care of the kid, but you ended up just dumping her on me. Oof. Kelsey's like, oh, you're her new babysitter, have fun with the kid. I'ma go out to buy some milk. Rhodes Island's command has fallen to chaos after losing both Teresa and the doctor. There are plenty of eyes trying to snoop on us too. I have to take charge and maintain order. And given the circumstances, you made the journey all the way here to bring the new King of Sarkas to me. This is a king, Kelsey. Teresa's a cruel one. How could she pick a fragile little girl like her to be her successor? But Amia's the last bit of hope she had left. Hope is a poison to the Sarkas. I've heard much about your past deeds. Now that you have the living King of Sarkas here with you, surely you've run a few ideas through your head.
Would I want a power like Amia to read emotions? Nah. That doesn't sound very fun. Perhaps I should let the girl die painlessly in her sleep. It's a better fate than the pain and hardship she has destined to suffer.
This isn't how I wish for things to turn out either. If only it could have been another way. But now that things have come to this, as a doctor, I just don't want to see another soul extinguished before my eyes. As a doctor? Giving yourself a pat on the back now, aren't you? You may be a doctor, but you're also a conspirator, a cold-blooded puppet master, and an accessory to a war.
Do I consider her inherited powers as a curse? Then nah. Amia's rocking her powers. Since she's super duper empathetic. Though my empathy levels, I would say are kind of low, honestly. So I wouldn't do good with emotion powers.
I won't deny that. But what about you, Warfarin? You refused to serve each and every royal court. You chose to stay away from war and hide in a border town, refusing to treat anyone but the locals. The name Mr. Blood has long been known far and wide across Victorian and Colombian medical circles. You'd rather be an outlier among the vampires, Can someone like you really save all those trying to escape from war? I know what you're trying to do, Kelsey. Oh? You told me everything about your current situation. You brought the new king of Sarkas here for treatment, and you act like you're the losers in this conflict. It's almost like you're trying to say you have nothing to do with this war anymore. You're trying to rope me in. And my response is still the same as all those years ago. Not happening. Teresa's ideals have always been about more than just the Sarkas. She set her sights far, and she had grand ambitions, but that was exactly why things turned out the way they did. Everyone who starts a war has some wonderful ideals to circulate around. She wanted to cure Ripathy. Now this is the first time I ever heard about that. And we've already put the fundamentals of the research together. Your handiwork? Naturally. I won't deny it. At some point in time, Rhodes Island will take action because of Teresa's. But I can guarantee you have the power to keep yourself at arm's length.
So that's what you two talked about?
Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't accept there and then. I've had plenty of pompous big talk in my lifetime. It takes more than that to persuade me. But when she came to take you away the next day, she said she'd already spread the word that a mad Dr. Warfarin had joined Rhodes Island. It was too late for me to turn her down. I was pissed. I'd been on the run for centuries, hiding from the royal court, and that was all it took. She even had Monster invite and escort me back to Rhodes Island. Ah yes, invite and escort. AKA grabbing her and then flying away to here. To tell you the truth, I didn't believe her when she said that Teresa wanted to cure Ripathy. It wasn't until she showed me the relevant research that I was convinced, albeit only barely. After that, I ended up staying reluctantly. Hey Amia, why the gloomy face? Am I drawing too much blood? Impossible, even when I was half asleep. I know what I'm doing. Are you thinking of leaving? Shining and Liz were going to Victoria. Like they mentioned that inside of their records, right? Or is that a different journey? Huh? How'd we get there? I mean, we're about to enter Londinium. You're being awfully serious today, so I thought maybe you're trying to tell me you're planning on leaving because what Rhodes Island is doing doesn't align with your goals. No. Huh? Are you going to chase all the patients on the ship away? Of course not. That's why we're stopped next to this mining platform. Are you going to force me to go with you? No. Most of our people will be staying at Rhodes Island. This operation isn't being conducted under the Rhodes Island name. Okay, it was mentioned in the trilogy. Of course, Ron. Ron. Now he goes by a new name, but still. Why would I leave then? I'm telling you all this today because Londinium is a big step and a new journey to you. As your attending physician, I should prepare a gift for you. A gift? I don't think I've talked to anyone about this for some 100 years. It's only when I speak to Kelsey that I sometimes get the urge to discuss this. She knows just about everything though, and a lot of it she doesn't actually need me to point out. But anyway, since I already started, let me get into it a little more. Not all those who start wars are truly fools, Amiya. Most of them are extraordinarily smart,
so smart that they know the easiest way to get what they want for themselves or their tribe is to take it from someone else. They know what it is that they're doing. That's exactly why they're able to eliminate their enemies and spill rivers of blood without thinking twice. And once they've accomplished their goals and built their new order, they're overthrown by the next one with an ambitious goal. And all this will repeat over and over, almost to no end. Actually, there might just be no end to it whatsoever. Yes, I understand. I wish you didn't understand. Oh well, there's one more thing I need to make clear. Kelsey's right, I don't loathe war, per se. I went into hiding when I decided to leave war and the royal court behind. And after I became a doctor, I made a rule for myself. Never treat anyone who has anything to do with warfare. But I truly loathed it. I should have strived to end war myself. I should have thrown myself into its midst. Like all those with ambitions. I have nothing against the idea. I simply don't believe that line of thinking will lead us anywhere. Some might think my choice is a cowardly one, because I'm tolerating and turning a blind eye to war. I may save many lives, but I've also allowed plenty more deaths to occur by inaction. To use a more scientific way to describe it, war is an endless internal friction. There are better ways to lead us toward the future. By the way, I stole that sentence from a book. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Maybe you should give it a read. It does sound like it has a good point. Which book did you steal it from? I forgot. I'll look through my things and find it. Okay. Alright, another thing. There's a reason I chose not to become an elite operator. I know there will come a day when the path before you will be devastated by the flames of war. That's the hill I'm going to die on, and I'm not going to change my mind for anyone. So if you think I'm mad or disappointed, you're not quite right. Because I never had any expectations to begin with. But I built Rhodes Island's blood bank with my own hands. I've watched Rhodes Island's medical team grow from a few heads to the organization it is. I watched Rhodes Island grow into a pharmaceutical company. As long as I'm confident that both you and Kelsey haven't abandoned your quest to overcome erypathy, I will stay at Rhodes Island, treating the patients here. And how old was Amiya when she first met Warfarin, though? Warfarin's been there for so long. He's basically Amiya's auntie. This is my gift to you. Dr. Warfarin. I promise you that I'll... Don't make it sound like we won't see each other again. I don't want promises, but I'd love a vial of the doctor's blood before you go. Well, you might need Dr. Kelsey's approval. Gah, can't always listen to Kelsey, you know. You need to form your own opinions. Amiya, are you going to steal my blood? I've never had my blood drawn, so... I'm scared, but if it's you, Amiya, I'll put up with it. You can say that, but I won't let you take the doctor's blood for no reason. You need to learn some academic curiosity. I've been thinking, once you get back, you really should come intern under me. I'll think about it. It's been a while since the last time I talked so much in one go. I sure could use a drink right now. Amiya, grab me that vial of blood next to you. Of blood to your right, will you? What? Just playing with you. It's how I like to scare people these days. It's actually pretty fun to spook people with these vampire stereotypes. The kids in particular. They all go along with their shots after I post something like that. You really shouldn't. Say, Amiya? I have a whole ship full of patients to care for, but don't forget, you'll always be my first patient at Rhodes Island. Of course. So you make sure you come back alive, okay? I will. Cute. And now to Horn. There she be. And ta-da! Solo. The first page of a memorandum. Triangle, snare, bass, mandolin, cello, oboe. I won't forget. March 20th. Aw, that was the crew doing research, wasn't it? As in, searching for the weapons. Skirmished with Dublin again. And made off with some resources for survival, including a notebook and this pen. I can finally straighten out my thoughts to a degree. Mandragora hasn't been fighting at full force. We couldn't have recovered the wounded Londiniers otherwise. I'm surprised a lunatic knows self-restraint. Or maybe even she realizes Dublin's just a lone current in Londinium's vortex. I still can't make out the full picture of that vortex, which scares me even.
Is that really what Captain Mandragora said? A. Those were her orders. So she's off averting about the nobles too. How about with the nobles too? I didn't want those stuck-up lords bossing me about. That's why I went with her in the first place, you know. And warning us to speak no ill of the Sarkaz. We're collaborating with those devils. Is she having a laugh? You'd have a pillar straight through you if the captain was in here. If the captain was here. Just mind a little what you say. She's got her plans. Or these plans are the leaders, in which case, I can say you zip it up even tighter. Over here. Vicky. Captain says we're to take your cuffs off. You can go get a breather of fresh air.
What is this, a trick?
Are you planning to aim at me once my back is turned? Use me for a crossbow practice and laugh while I run? You can try then. The outcome will disappoint you, or you'll be dead before then. Ha. That's super... Ha, there's a stiff upper lip. You're just as hoity-toity as any, Vicky. But you're not all wrong, I suppose. If you think you can escape, you'll have to see if you can outrun a bolt first. I tell you that. Enough. Enough Victorian. It was Captain Mandragora's decision to allow you a little free time for once before we enter Londinium. You'd best be grateful. See your city's wall there? Looks as tall and mighty and indestructible as ever from here, doesn't it? Drink in the sight and hold on to it. It's a magnificent illusion, I'll give you that. And once you're in the city, you'll miss being so mistaken. Do you know what happened in Londinium? You'll see for yourself in a few days.
Oh, she's been there for 6 months? Oof.
Not that Londinium's state has much to do with your likes, seeing as you'll drop dead before long.
Excuse me, do you know how far it is to the nearest settlement from here?
Settlement? Ha! You're on the run out. So's everyone else. Don't be daft. Settlements nearby could never take you in. Shut. We're an army from far off, madam. We're not familiar with this place.
My apologies.
Hold on, please. You came fleeing from Londinium? What's the situation like in there now?
Didn't you know? The Sarkaz have made their move. Londinium is putty in their hands as we speak.
Then what about?
No one knows where the defense force is gone. We hear they collapsed from the inside. Not a soul stepped out to defend the civilians of Victoria.
How did she know what I'd ask? And what changed? Why is this Dublin fighter being so polite with the Victorian here?
But I can't say I know what's gone on in every part of Londinium. It's a massive place, and I've been out of the city for a good moment now, just wandering about everywhere.
How about Londinium's perimeter then? Would you be familiar with how much noble power is concentrated about it?
That's not something small city folk like me ought to know. I don't even know if the White Wolf counts anywhere around. Grand as he is, years and years I've held him on high regard, ever since he saved my parents' lives once upon a time.
Sorry. I'm familiar with who you speak of, but it's been extraordinarily long since I heard this title. She recognizes me.
Odds. My guess is he'd be collaborating with some noble now, readying his forces for this whole quarrel.
I'd wager the White Wolf doesn't plan to work with other nobility. He cares more so about his homeland and less who the throne belongs to.
I like her, Kate. I understand.
Excuse me, but that's enough info. But that's enough of the info inquiry. We're still an army with discipline, not like the struggling forces you saw in Londinium. I'm afraid, madam. You'd better be on your way while the sun's still up.
I'm sorry, I'll be leaving now. Oh, you'll all be entering Londinium soon, won't you? We can at least shake hands, soldier. Secret infiltrate. This is my own personal hope. I hope once you're back, you'll have the chance to drop in on my family. They decided to stay when I fled. I don't know if we'll ever see each other again. Her family lives on the wharf. You'll recognize my daughter once you see her.
Alright, I'll do all I can. If I'm not mistaken, she should be a messenger of Count Mornings.
Soldier, you have to know why it is I paid you a visit, don't you? Look at this brat. What a pity you are, still hoping your noble standing will give you some kind of sway. Trying to influence others' decisions with your own personal statements. Have you seen yourself in the mirror lately? You don't know the fate of your own sacrifices. You fought your battle and lost in every way. Killed every last one of your own underlings. You should be defanged clean by now, but here you are still howling through empty gums.
Given you're so annoyed, you're still spitting venom at me like a day hasn't passed. Nobody you went begging to must have seen through your lies.
Oh man, who would I rather take? Someone's company, Mandragora or Mephisto? I mean... Maybe Mandragora, just because... I like her frenemy, the cute, smug, green-haired cat. No, I never disappoint the leader. But I'll disappoint you, though. There's nothing your clever little voice box can change. They don't even care if it's the truth or not. You work with Dublin. As long as you're still alive, it's Dublin they'll bet on. You're daydreaming. Wake up. The vast majority are nothing like you, killing yourself in the name of Victoria. They'll try every trick of the book to save their own souls, and that's where it ends.
Don't worry, little feline. I'll at least see your life go out before I die for Victoria.
You just love to front oh so hard, pretending you're still not done with yet. Believe me, as little as you want then. I know reality will dawn on you soon enough. March 27th. I wasn't in time to ask the soldier's name. Dublin's Originium arts hadn't pinned to the ruins. There was nothing I could do. I've continued to amass intel on Londinium, and I have a general idea of where most of the Defense Forces soldiers went at this point. Serving the Sarkas was a choice of most, and I've managed to convince myself that it wasn't beyond expectations. We also learned of the address of the address of a detention center from him. One that's holding some of ours. But I don't know if they'll still want to fight, or even if they still can. I've seen too many people tried and tortured. And the wrecked state of their bodies after. Why couldn't I have found them just a little earlier? Maybe that soldier would have wanted to tell me as much, but couldn't get the words out. I'm left unable to even record his name, nor can I deliver his loved ones a last word from him. I couldn't have found him just a little easier. How do we lay such hatred low? What number of strong would a force have to be to kill that Dublin lunatic? She has to die. Even if I have no sword and no mantelet, even if I may be outdone by her, I have to take vengeance on her. I'm losing a grip on my own thoughts. Stop writing. This is no calm decision making.
Hey, do we still have to keep eyes on the Victorian loony? Just give her a glance on the regular. Captain said we have to ensure she stays alive.
19, 20, 21. And again. Triangle. Keep training. I'm starting to count over.
Listen to that. She's mumbling to herself again. She was there sometimes before. But now she doesn't hear a single word we say. Just talks to the dead every day. Enough. Go have your break. I'm on shift now. Hey, soldier. For now, we'll suppose the enemy's formation includes shield guards and casters, and the bombardiers are positioned here. Hey, the captain gives you good food and drink, doesn't grill you or torture you one bit. And that's what it takes for you to go unhinged? Brushed by life just because a few friends of yours died. Would you like to know how much of us Terrans have lost? It's beyond anyone how a dross like you made it as a Victorian army lieutenant. Ha! That was your title, right? Don't rush. Stand behind my shield. You are not withstanding an explosion, no matter how good your condition is. Never mind, still not reacting at all. Carry on chatting with your imaginary friends. Great. There's no chance you remember by now. You once said you'd never failed on an assignment before. How your shield will protect every last man. What? Was it too humiliating that we did this to you? Just forcing yourself to forget it all now? Heh. I suppose the captain gave us a bit of fun, leaving you here. What the hell is she up to now? Where is she? She tore the vent cover off the ceiling? You really think that'll let you escape? Trying to go through the ducts. Get back here, Vicky. You only opened the door to catch me because you truly thought I'd gone mad. Thank you for letting your guard down.
She was doing a little bit of trolling, I see.
Why, you...
Mandragora's probably just entertained. Having Horn as a pet. Like, yay, we have her locked up. Let me feed her good. I'll give her good food and drink. Just keep her in the cage. And let's make sure she's watched. But look, this guy, he couldn't even do his one assignment. Keep watch of her.
Where'd you get that blade from? Someone very kind-hearted hoped I'd check in on her family after reaching Londinium, and gave me this little folding knife on the side. It's no weapon, but it's enough to prise off a vent grill. By the way, the air vents are nowhere near enough to let someone crawl out, or else I'd be gone long ago. Lend me your comms terminal there. Looks to me like you really are off the deep end. You're just going to trot out of our base's deepest parts with nothing but a knife? Stay put. You're going to jump out the window, aren't you? Like how I'll let you.
Did the regents finally agree to meet me?
Yes. They all have surely witnessed Dublin's might now. Even if both we and they are well aware, Dublin and the Sarkis royal court cannot truly ally.
Since obviously, the leaders had this planned well in advance. What's that noise? Is there a raid? But the Sarkis wouldn't. I mean, their lord agreed to treat Dublin like guests. Wait, is that the Victorian army out of their depth again? No. They've got barely any left alive. Why would they provoke us by themselves? And Londinium's top people might have never even witnessed Dublin's fires before.
Beautiful arts. May you sleep peacefully within your own blast. I heard everything you said from the very first joke you made about them. I was intent on making sure you'd never open your mouth again. But you're right, I might not be completely sane at this point, nor do I know if reopening my scars again and again is clearing my mind at all. or if it's plunging me even deeper. What's going on? The whole floor. There was an explosion inside the building. Send a team in to rescue. I'll report to the captain. Surrounding patrols have been drawn to the explosion site, all as projected. Now, this is an assignment. Only one person taking part. The plan of action, escape from here. The backup plan, put my life on the line against Dublin. An assignment I won't fail on no matter what. Now there's a reassuring thing. Second Tempest Platoon Leader Horn, commencing. Captain Mandragora, reporting in. There's been an explosion at the old tobacco factory. Apparent cause was dust buildup in the ventilation.
What's the panic about? Is that beyond you lot to handle? I thought you'd seen plenty of explosions at this point.
No, Captain. You probably remember, but that Victorian soldier was being held there too.
She died?
The soldier we sent to rescue at the scene, found she'd seemingly escaped.
Useless. Bloody, useless idiots! And you told me she went mad. I knew she was faking it. She'd never be broken so easily. I just knew it. The Sarkas wouldn't treat us as an enemy. Londinium's army won't have known to mind us yet. It has to be her. She's the only one who'd pull an attack on us. Where does she think she can run to, though?
Third squad, blockade around the warehouse. Call Walter. Wasn't he the one on guard today? Seventh squad, sent 2 people to search for Walter at the explosion site. She can't have gone beyond this block in this short of a time. Completely right. With a blockade and sweep like this, I've got nowhere to flee. Who's there? No, there's no one here. Those footsteps are from the other side of the wall. A few Dublin fighters who haven't even seen me yet. But someone's been watching this place the whole time. She left tracks. Most likely she went towards a food processing plant. Don't let her hide in there. Shut all the doors. That's untimely. Walter's dead. And his comms terminal, it's been taken too. Deactivate all clearance for the guard team's comms. Terminal's gone silent. They're in full alert.
Climbing?
Over there. Someone climbed up. The searchlights. We'll come for her from the roof. Set your crossbows around the sides.
This is an intense stealth mission.
Hold on. The factory's doors open?
Is there an ally inside?
Reporting in. Situation normal on this end. The entrance, the bloody entrance. Didn't we just shut? Erg. Seems it wasn't negligence on Dublin's part. Someone else opened this door.
The soldier dodges behind the wall, vigilantly scanning all around her. The damp factory air is silent as the throat grips shut, not a hint of movement to be left. Not a hint of movement to be felt. And I'd want it to be Outcast who's helping her, but I won't have high hopes. Sadness. Like someone has cut the wind away altogether. This isn't her first time sensing that peculiar gaze. In that claustrophobically cramped room, her nerves on high alert had picked something up too.
You there, watching me. Who are you?
No voice replies, only the scent of Originium arts that flit past the entrance just now convinces her someone else is here.
No, they're watching the entirety of Dublin. Is it a sarcasm? The will of the occupant upon the throne, surveying the bedlam of Londinium? The entrance is open. I found her. She's in there.
Oh, then is it the misery person?
One squad of soldiers coming down from upstairs. The door to the safe passage is about to be broken through. At least 3 crossbows are aimed at the platform outside this window. But there's countless tubes and containers here. I can bide my time and hide for a while. I have more patience than these Dublin soldiers. And Dublin's been allowing this factory to operate normally, so they can restock their fighters' daily supplies. Which means this factory should have an exit that gets used at fixed times, leading to a logistics transport way in this sublayer. I can look for an opportunity to open it.
As she puts together her escape plan, she catches the sound of the gateway slowly creaking open, coming from below.
I thank you, unshowing stranger.
The soldier's hidden right in here. Where are you? Where do you think you're running? Your army's gone from existence, toy soldier. You won't make it. You won't make it even one step out of this bloody Sudian place. You show your head in any controlled district, and those devils will make art skewers of you on their blades. Come out. I've got your best interest at heart. You go out there and you'll see just how much more bloody, miserable it ends with Victorian soldiers who don't listen. It gets worse than what happened to your little squad of friends. You bloody believe me.
You.
Creeping along the shadows towards the transitway, Horn suddenly stops in her tracks. Dublin's caster stands with her back to Horn, right under the corridor lights. It's just because Mandragora doesn't want to lose her pet. Like, aw, I liked having you as my pet. In her hand, Horn clutches a rapier, stolen from the side of a Dublin soldier. If the feline activates her own arts in time, then the instant Horn thrusts, her fragile sword will scatter against rock. But if the caster doesn't react in time, as Horn is gripping her sword, Mandragora turns and faces in her direction. March 28th. I had the same dream again. I was running through the drainage layer, echoes chasing my footsteps in the dark. I dreamt again and again of the murdered soldiers, so many of whom were tortured beyond recognition. It's near impossible for me to relate to those who loved them in the circumstances in which they left this mortal coil. But the most frightening thing is, inside my head, bit by bit, their faces are blurring. It's at these times that I'm glad for this memorandum. I can look back page by page, read their names, and copy them again letter by letter. I've dreamt of taking my revenge too, but every time I charge at Dublin, or the Sarkaz crowd, I wake up with a start, like now. I often can't help but wonder, if I'd run Dublin's caster through that day, how things would have turned out, whether I would feel free, no matter what the case may be. But for my sanity, I have to stop such thoughts and end there. I feel bad for Horn. She's a prisoner. She's forcefully being kept there as Mandragora's pet. Because she's not being tortured, like truly, like physically tortured anyways. Mentally, yeah. Physically, no. Closing my eyes to rest has become a form of duty. And so has living. Faced with Londinium in this state, and even Victoria as a whole, I have no idea what else I can do aside from fight what battles lay in front of me. But I have to hold on to hope, even if it takes all I have just to stand here.
Lieutenant, you're awake.
I am. I just came to.
Good timing. It's almost time to relieve the guard duty.
What is it?
No, I just couldn't sleep, and I saw you had a candle lit here by chance. Sorry, did I interrupt you while you were note-taking? It's all right. It wasn't anything too important. Ah, that's a relief. Lieutenant, have I ever mentioned before, I used to live in Sudan, in a little alley behind a textiles factory. Our family had a bit of leaving a candle lit on the windowsill that faced out, since there was no light in the alley, and they wanted to let whoever got off of work at night see as they went. Thanks to your candle, I felt for a moment like things weren't so gloomy after all. In previous times, I would have said reminiscence was no good thing. But now, I think there's only a clinging on to the state Victoria should be in. The lives of Londiniers should have. That lets us fight on the city's darker corners. Though it's a bit of an unrealistic ideal. Huh. It's not. We believe in you, Lieutenant. Victoria's servicemen won't fall so easily, and neither will Victoria's citizens. But we are worried for you, too. What's to worry for? You might not be willing to tell us much, but we're all soldiers. Things have affected us in all sorts of similar ways, surely. I'll stand guard for you tonight. You get a little more rest.
That soldier's nice. And now time to go into chapter 10. For some reason, that story made me crave chocolate milk. I know it's a weird craving, but that's how I feel. Now let's go. Shatterpoint. Boop. Ooh, music. I will sit back and enjoy some water. What language is this sung in? That was a pretty teaser. Let's see if YouTube bonks me though. Even if I get bonked, it was worth it. Heh. The pursued, you see the shadow of the nomadic city of Londinium, and so too have they seen you. The PV was pretty. So was the song.
Our project is near to its close.
I hear the sound of the storm, and so do they. They're telling me now how they like the sound. They're dying to become a part of the storm, to howl wantonly through the air, to go and devour this hateful city before us.
Perfect. In 10 days, our airship will be complete. From there, they'll be able to take to Londinium skies and serve as the storm's very pilots.
Like, is this a flashback? I'm assuming it must be a flashback for Teresa. Well, that's how her brother looks. I like how her brother looks super duper edgy. Like, heck, she's wearing like a pretty elegant white outfit while he's like, yeah, ultimate edgelord. I'll be going with them.
That suits our plan. You're the optimal candidate to command our air forces, given I must be defending the Shard.
No, Teresa's. That isn't what I mean. They and I, as one, would only go together.
Good. Prior to their departure, you are to continue fulfilling your duty. The royal court needs you, and our soldiers need their most trustworthy monarch. Moreover, you are more proficient in building than I am, by all rights. Our construction rate has sped up by 10% since you began attending court meetings.
I would not forget what I am meant to do. Wait. They are in Londinium right now? This isn't a flashback? What? How? Also, I noticed you disposed of those guards. The confessori have given you no end of grief for that, have they?
Deposing of the guards about you was a military commission's decision. We need more sentries so we can answer to the greatest period of danger.
Needs be. I can enter the battlefield too.
Stay here, this tower and the airship. Those lie at the core of our plans. Once these two projects are done with, Kazuo will possess the power to fend off all nations.
Fend off all nations, you say? I've always known of your ambitions, but it makes it no less unbelievable to hear every time.
Hasn't it always plagued you that they would not permit us to rise again? Very soon, you will be plagued no longer.
Indeed. If even the bearing of the storm is ours to control, who would still be occupied by the dark clouds floating in its head?
In the past, we Sarkas had let our enemies pursue us. Time and time again, we stood up in the ruins, and time again we rebuilt our homeland, and time again we watched our home be torn to shreds by the wars they incited.
Sarkas, we are a rootless people.
Why is that? Solely because they've occupied our finest soil, have forbid our roots to take. In the war 200 years ago, it took all of our might to drive the enemy back, yet we still could not preserve Kazdel.
Oh man, I gotta see that one art again then.
After that, how much time did we have to devote to just about reconvene our stranded remnants? And how much more time to transfer these bare shreds Victorian Ursus could not see to a wasteland where they were just as blind to, and rebuild Kazdel again right under their very noses?
200 years?
Yes, it has taken us these 2 full centuries. So what of the next time? Suppose our Kazdel is once again raised by flames of war. How much more time will we need to rebuild it? Now 500 years, or even longer? Our enemies have almost gotten away with this, precisely because we've become accustomed to drifting.
Oh, the 15 promises with a me of it. Okay, that one.
Ruination after ruination may never snuff out Kazdel's soul. The Sarkas soul. But it has unarguably scattered us. Kazdel today is merely crammed with houses. It's not home. Still more Sarkas wander off the great land beyond. No dreams in their mind's eye further than tomorrow's bread. Even the royal court. All Kazdel has in its 10 kings court of tradition, and the majority of those 10 have left their positions vacant.
This is why you wanted war. And yes, now I remember.
This is not my want, but Sarkas' need. This time, it will be beneath our feet where the war's flames ignite. Victoria Ursus Lathadian. Not one city, not one patch of soil will be fortunate enough to escape. Within the next century, our enemies will no longer have the energy left to set their sights in Kazdel. No more than that, once we have the ability to guide the storm, they'll come to fear the Sarkas' gaze instead, just as they fear the storm's descending.
The storm gathers atop the tower we stand in. They will see us, stood in the storm's eye. The enemy of the Sarkas will throw themselves at us with all they have to stop us.
Then let them.
You don't fear the inferno consuming your body too, when the first thunderbolt strikes?
When you built Babel, you too knew all opposers would point their swords at you. And did you ever once fear? The tower you built with a life has collapsed, just like another Kazdel. And at this moment, we stand here in a new tower, in a new opportunity. Look at Londinium today. You only just presided over the meeting of the kings. How can you not have realized?
Oh, okay, they want to control catastrophes?
Not even before the useless war between us began, with the Sarkas so close to unity.
I'm just staring at the mysterious figures. There's Miss Teresa. Someone like longish. So, someone else in the back who looks kind of colorful-ish. Then there's an edgy one. I'll return to the city's outer barracks soon. Your Majesty, Teresa. Ooh. I would seem more confused. I understand. Cheser King. Our meeting here will be as brief as possible.
We're always in such a hurry.
Oh man, that's such a hard name. Is that not Cherer? I'll just guess it's not Cherer.
You're always in such a hurry, not Cherer. You don't want to get together with us.
So, is this the meeting of the kings? Are these all kings? I like how edgy most of them look.
I haven't had the time to spare, Vampire.
100,000 are stationed outside Londinium.
Not I or my soldiers can spare a second of complacency. Then let us switch our duty. I'm already sick of the blabbering nobles inside the city. And Teresa's, your little Gaulish fiend, is just as foolish and noisy as them. I've got to warn you in advance. My patience is limited.
His head will have to stay on his neck for a moment longer. Don't add the city's Victorian army to our troubles.
Fine enough, that said. Don't you feel that some still haven't been put to use?
Do you speak of myself, Vampire? I have a great affairs upcoming, don't I, your highnesses? Of course, control of Londinium is inseparable from the efforts of us all. Has there been a word from the messenger you sent, Confessarius? By Manfred's tireless urging, the Lich is now fast on the way to Londinium. The few Wendigos left remain, battling strange monsters in Ursus's north. Their hearts hold the royal court no more. The Cyclops sends a letter. As ever, she describes a tragic scene. Londinium thundered by great fire into thirds. The shard fallen under lightning strikes in their hundreds. And the Regent, yes, she still prophesies your end, Regent. Speak. She says she has seen your solitary death on the underground throne of the Palace of West Taleg.
Give her a reply, thanking her for her concern. Continue searching for any sign of the gargoyles. So long as you can find any remnant blood vessels, immediately send an invitation. The Council will, together with the Royal Court, ensure victory in this war.
Cyclops? Gargoyles?
Are those just code words? If the Sarkas can still be given a new chance, then that chance lies before our eyes, and it is one and only.
And very, very many will die. So many Victorians and so many Sarkas. The people's blood will change this grey city through and through, and their wails will cover even the thunder.
This is a war between us and them. One continued for centuries without end. Yes, war. This has always been how we Sarcasts continue to survive. If you have any objections, speak. Single out the dangers of my plan, just as you have countless times before.
I have no objections.
None, you say?
If you could hear the sounds in my head, you would know. They would not allow me any other choice. Provided this war can truly free Casdale from the cycle of destruction. Provided this storm can truly put out the Sarcasts' smoldering enmity and return countless souls to the freedom of rest. I will stand with you, ensuring our dream can be made reality.
A fine turn. There is one more thing. The Rhodes Islanders are already on their way.
Yes, we are. 6:50 a.m. Overcast. Yo, it's so bright at 6:50 a.m. 5:27 km. Out of Londinium. Operation platform of an abandoned mine.
Dr. Kelsey, anchoring sequence will begin in T plus another hour, 48 minutes. Good. Ensure the boarding region can operate normally before then. Understood. We'll step up the cleanup. Warfarin, have all critically ill patients have been appropriately situated?
Relax, it's just the last 3 left, and we're operating on them tomorrow. We'll have the moving sick beds arranged in no time. Don't rush me, okay? You standing here with your stern look makes our medic operators have to keep peeking at you.
This is an emergency.
Fine, I get it. I'll quit joking. Every day's been like a battle ever since we entered Victoria. If you hadn't transferred so many operators away beforehand.
Rhodes Island must operate as usual. We reached out this consensus at the first resolutive meeting, Warfarin. No complaint to me. You made Monster lash me to the side at the ship 4 years ago. I mean, when you invited me to join Rhodes Island, we agreed I would research oropathy alongside you as a doctor. There wasn't any follow to the new King of Sarcas in a fight to win back Casdale type of clause in my contract, and switching Casdale out for Londinium changes nothing. This goes for a great deal of our operators. I have no intent of forcing any one operator to participate in a mission irrelevant to their long-term goals.
Man, I wonder how they're all gonna react seeing Teresa, though. What? You're alive? Hello, Teresa.
Moreover, no matter the other operations we are forced to take on, we cannot turn a blind eye to the infected throughout every region.
If it wasn't for our work here, our work there, we'd have had a few more elite operators to spare for this Londinium trip. I wonder how Mia's crew are doing.
Once we reach the vicinity of Londinium, we'll receive word.
It feels pretty much all of a sudden to see her again. And ooh, Mia's looking snazzy here. Recon group, report the situation on both sides. Received. No threat, copy. Closure. We can pass through ahead. Keep the engineering team with us. On it. Oh! That's another surprise. Closure's on the front lines with us. Dr. Misaki, still got you in to move? Want my drones to give you a lift? I'm fine. Let's keep going. Hey, when were drones capable of that? Let me think. I can't actually think of anything wrong with the idea. Doctor, we just need to walk a little longer. When we're out of this danger zone, then we can ride on our crafts and recuperate a little. had like a glow up, literally. She's glowing. She looks extra shiny here. We'll need to send Dr. Kelsey a message at some point too. She must be extremely worried about us. Wonder if it's going smoothly with the landship side. She'll be sending us a message too. I mean, I wonder if it's going smoothly. That's exactly why she had to stay behind. She can only rendezvous with us once Rhodes Island is safely situated. That's our joint responsibility. Doctor, just leave this to me. Ever since we planned to drive into Victoria, Dr. Kelsey and you have been busy securing the safety of our route. I will take charge for the rest of it, just like we've agreed on. I want a chance for you to catch your breath too, even if it's just mentally. Doctor, we have to keep going. Maybe it's because I rarely see closure. She seems the same. There are times I think about how we got in over the past few months. We've gotten over the past months, and it seems too smooth to even believe. That ragtag bunch of windbags are all together in Londinium right now, and they haven't even noticed us. Kelsey, did you use some kind of ancient technique I'm not aware of? If any arts truly could render Rhodes Island invisible, believe me, I would have used them over a decade ago. I almost forgot. Disused Industrial Mining Equipment Recovery Organization, is that right? We've been using that title for passage and permission to park the whole way. Trust Dr. Misaki to come up with that. Dr. Misaki tends to have a unique angle of thought on certain aspects. And luckily, Closure's personal interests has had her lead the engineering department over the past years to develop technologies for using scrap, which in short renders the title a fine one. With the addition of a few friends' aid, this plan has been successful in execution thus far. As for what comes next, that lies with Amiya and Vina. So much dirt. 2 left, 4 right. Indra? Uh-oh. Internet's going wonky, oh no. When I think of Closure's design, she looks so casual. I'm so just used to seeing her like back at like the store or outpost area, that's it. So it's so strange having her in the front lines. Check. How's the right side? Just someone who thought that was funny. Someone who thought he was funny had me caught up for a second, but he's over with now. And Dogda? I heard steel claws and crossbow bolts mashing into each other. Enemies left to the rear? Leave them to her. I like those brass knuckles. Hey, there's one hiding right there, or right here. Now there isn't. Just missing Dogda. So this is Siege's group. Huh. Siege seems like she's ready for combat. Indra seems like she just wants to do like some, underground fights type of person or type of design. That's the vibes I get from her. Siege, she's there for military reasons. Indra just wants to fight, cause why not? Vina, listen. It's dead silence behind. I said she could sort it out. Good. Vanguard group, mission complete. Notify Amiya immediately. There's no more nobles, patrols in the vicinity. They can pass through. The road ahead is clear. No casualties. Messaging devices back in operation. Doctor, we're just about to catch sight of Londinium. We finally made it here! Now can I catch my breath too? Hang on, Doctor. Jessica sent a message. Before we carry on the next step of the plan, we need to send a few operators to run a different mission. We have 2 targets to rescue. One's a friend at Blacksteel, and the other is an informant who can help us enter Londinium. A friend at Blacksteel, huh? Read target. I'm just gonna put that and see, it's not yet. Start. Don't show again? Let's see. Let's just bring Texas because why not? Texas can have some fun here. 7:25 a.m. overcast. 10 kilometers from Londinium, Wilderness Highway.
Blacksteel's aircraft was about 100 meters ahead of our position when its signal disappeared. Let me grab the telescope to pinpoint the precise location. Wait, why are you standing up?
Do you smell the smoke?
Don't think so.
I mean briefly about the right to take the crown of Victoria. Briefly. Does that mean Siege is a princess?
You can put that lump of metal down. The aircraft is right ahead. You want to scout out the enemy's numbers first? Can't be any more than 30. You can tell all that from smell alone? The hell are you talking about? Before we left, Morgan told me that they usually run in squads of 30. Oh right, that's what the intel Misery sent back said. Patterns tell us they should have 2 other squads nearby to offer mutual support. Humph. They act like they own the damn place. Don't do anything rash. Amiya said not to make too much of a ruckus before we get into Londinium. Too many forces have their eyes on us. Balin, how long has it been since you joined the Bunny Squad and started working with us? About 5 days since leaving the landship. And do you know how long it took for Siege to go from joining the Glasgow gang to becoming my boss? No. 2 days. She only needed 2 days. First day, she beat me down. Second day, we beat down a band of ill-intentioned Lathanians. Since then, we've had a bond that goes beyond life and death.
I like that. She beat me in a fight, so I'm following her now. She has asserted her dominance in the pack. Legit.
Even though we haven't been working together very long, I have full confidence in your strength, Indra. That's what I like to hear. Let's go. We need to catch up to Dagda. Dagda's already moved out? Are you telling me Dark Shadow? Are you telling me Dark Shadow that's shot past was? When she first joined the gang, she had her nose turned up like some fancy knight noble. Now whenever there's a fight, she's the first one to leap in. We're gonna have to pick up the pace, or she'll clean house before we even get there. Dagda throws a mean punch, and I can bet you, she'll flip on top of the aircraft from the side. We'll wrap around the back, get rid of anyone there, and burst our way inside. Alright, I'll cover you then. After this fight, you'll be a blood brother. He's like, oh no, what did I get myself into? If I was to describe it in Rhodes Island's terms, let me think. Something like this. Our objectives are 2 rescues. 1 Londinium citizen and 1 Blacksteel pilot. Opposing forces are Dublin. You, stop squirming. Don't even try to reach for the transmitter. Don't kill me. My hands got numb and I just wanted to shake it out a little. Don't be too forceful. You really end up killing the bloke. How are you gonna explain to the captain when we get back? Don't forget, this is our objective. Securing our flight back is just a matter of convenience. Do you know how to operate it? Not a clue. And that's why you shouldn't have killed the damn pilot as soon as you got in here. If you ask me, we stop wasting time. Take this one back and leave this rubbish heap behind. All the men along the road outside are ours. What difference does it make if we take some extra time? The Sarkas are inside the city, and the Grand Duke's army is stationed in the barracks of the Annex Plate. Nobody's gonna bother us.
Sir, why would you go for the pilot first thing if you don't know how to... If you don't know how to drive the vehicle, don't kill the pilot. Come on.
Like, well, I thought there'd be like a automatic thing on here, like autopilot. Whoops.
I guess this one is all manual, no autopilot. Oops. I don't know how to do this. My bad. We have all the time in the world, I mean.
Gentlemen, are you not Sarkas? Your eyes follow your head. Do we look anything like that filth to you? Filth. You're exactly right. Enough. Don't talk to the Londoniers unless you're interrogating them. If this runt has a stones to cross the Sarkas, there's no saying who we might be dealing with here. You're right. We should be on the cautious side. Hurry it up. I'm gonna see what the commotion is out there.
I can't really tell what Teresa is at this point.
What just happened? Sir, my heart's pounding too loud. I couldn't hear anything. We're under attack. There's something above us. M709. Do you see them? M709. Black claws? Some kind of wild beast? No, it's some kind of special weapon. All hands. The enemy is hiding atop the aircraft. They're trying to rip apart the metal.
Oh, she cute.
Ugh.
So that's Dagda. Dagda looks like she's ready to let's see. She looks like she could be in like a punk band. You managed to block me. Like Teresa seems so gentle and kind back in my memories of her. The intel was right. And you aren't just a band of highwaymen. You grew fat off of Victoria's teats, and this is how you repay her, soldier.
You're pretty strong. You working for the devils? Bastard.
How dare you? I'm pissed enough to beat the tar out of you 10 times over.
Remember this, Dublin soldier. We will reclaim Londinium from her usurpers, be it from the Sarkas or from you traitors.
Your time running around like you own this place is over.
Ha! Look at you, all high and mighty. You nobles, still trying to cling to the old times.
Nobles? Is she a noble? If she is a noble, she's in her rebellious phase based on her outfit.
Looks like you're after the little coward who ran away from the Sarkas and the information he has on him.
And yeah, because of the situation, I can't really predict her. Like, heck, her memories could have gotten scrambled. Her personality could have gotten scrambled being resurrected. I mean, my memories and personality changed drastically, clearly, after I was resurrected, pretty much. So, if the same thing happened to her, understandable.
They're switching targets. Help! Save me!
Leave him alone. This is a decoy? You little shit!
Erg. How many times have I told you? When you're in a fight, always be on the lookout for tricks. You're late. That's because I helped you clean up the band of hooligans outside, no? Hey, tell her, how many did we have to go through outside? 7 or was it 8? This isn't a competition. That's not what your face is saying. Back when we went on our first mission together, that one merc got away from you. You were livid for 3 days. Morgan thought you'd come down with some awful sickness. You have the same look in your face just now. What happened back then was my fault. Plus, it was a long time ago. Where did you people come from? The one in black. I thought she was some knight noble. The way you hit is like a street thug. Huh, you know your stuff.
I mean, Indra does look like a street fighter. What was the first impression, just based on her outfit and also the brass knuckles, underground fighter? Like a pow!
Hurry up. That one's no weakling. It'll be tougher to take him down than the unconscious louts outside. They're able to freely move between the Sarkas and the Duke's forces, and even able to control the major passages in and out of Londinium. Dublin isn't some ragtag group of mercs. We need to rescue the hostages as quickly as possible and get them to somewhere safe. I know. Your time running around like you own the place is over, right? That's a lousy one-liner, not nearly scary enough. Remember what I taught you? What you say is, this is your last chance to beg for mercy. Oh, M701, requesting backup. Captain Mandragora.
Though for Teresa, though, she does have the memories of all her times, like in Babel. Oh man. Unfortunately, I don't really know how life was like back then too much, except for those few snippets, because Dr. Misaki don't have no memories of that time, so I can't really think of all of our bonds and stuff, unfortunately. So sorry, Teresa. Sorry, not sorry. You're kind of like a stranger to me. A nice stranger, but still a stranger.
Dagda, Indra, we've got incoming. I say Jessie Bell. Got it. Brr, they sure move fast. You were in charge of recon. You didn't spot anyone nearby. Too much work. We'll just take them out as they come. Balin, please stay hidden. Indra and I will take care of the incoming hostiles. They're inside. Ladies, but please save me. I don't want to fall into their hands again. Gosh, shut your trap and do a better job of hiding. Dagda, we're good as long as we bring back the objectives, right? Shouldn't be an issue if we take apart this blasted lump of metal, yeah? This is one story you're gonna have to tell Siege when we get back.
Like, so what happened to the plane? It got destroyed during the rescue mission. How did it get destroyed? By enemies? Clearly, that's exactly what happened. Yes, it's because of the enemies. These? Oof. This is fine. Let's bring out my boy Thorn soon enough. 19 there. There's my boy. Teresa was probably like Mama, since he passed on her title to Mia, so clearly they must have been super duper close.
Or Dr. Kelsey's Papa. Papa Kelsey.
And uh-oh, I should bring out a healer, you know, that'd be smart. This thing is good. Oh, those that guys down there are super annoying. I do not appreciate them. Well, time to get rid of them. Yeah, I might as well put her there. And I should just use that. Great job, Susie. Phew, not too bad. I didn't even have to bring out Texas yet. But I probably should, just for fun. The guy brought her here for a reason. And that reason is for violence. Past Teresa I would have put down as a sweetheart, but this Teresa, questionable. For the one word, just questionable. 8:15 a.m. overcast. Several kilometers from Londinium, adjacent plate.
Closure. We're getting a drone signal.
Move, let me see. Ooh, wow. That's not half bad. The newly added camera module is working properly and has great clarity with 100 meters. The battery life seems pretty stable too. Keep at it with this baby, and we might even be able to get over the wall and sneak a peek at what's going on inside.
Hold on a sec. That's practically asking the enemy to shoot it out of the sky.
Don't you worry. I wouldn't put everybody at risk like that. We've just gotta hurry up and develop the stealth coding.
Closure. The drone's sending an alert.
Got somebody within detection range. It's charging its automatic attack module. Wait. That's the rescue team. Disable the alert. Amiya, Doctor. Andrew and Dogda are back. Closure's drones are getting good. Our scouts haven't found anyone yet. Closure's drones are getting good. They sure are. Closure's been totally focused on her drone research the whole way here. She's trying to improve the recon capabilities so that the enemies can't ambush us. Did it seem like Closure was kinda nervous? She hasn't left the landship for operations much before, and that's before we talk about how none of us know how long we'll be here. But it's alright. I trust her, and I trust all of our operators. Whether it's the roughly a dozen operators following us, or Misery and Logo's 2 teams that went out ahead of us. Everyone signed up for this operation knowing exactly what we're here for. One of the things that surprised me so far for this chapter, I'm guessing, or this episode technically, well, Teresa being back. Actually, back. Amiya's glow up, literally, and Closure being on the front line. Closure out here, not in the outpost or the shops? Amazing. Much wow. So far, we've successfully completed Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the operation. Now, we need to focus on Phase 3. Entering the city. How are we going to infiltrate Londinium? Are we going in through the structural level again? If I'm scaling walls again, I'm gonna need a minute. How are we going to infiltrate Londinium? I don't want to scale the walls, please. We're not getting into Londinium the same way we got inside the Chernobyl core city. We've got a visual on Londinium now, Doctor. Look at how high those walls are. Nothing has ever managed to breach Londinium's defenses, not even Ursus's high-speed warships. Londinium used to be the economic center of Altera, as we all know, but only those who have seen the city with their own eyes understand its reputation as an impregnable fortress. The waste drainage structures of most nomadic cities are vulnerable to infiltration from the outside. But the engineers who built Londinium even made use of this weak point. Reportedly, they built an automatic assembly line into the underground structure. Back in Londinium's glory days, the machines worked day and night to perpetuate Victoria's golden age. In times of war, the assembly line supplied weapons and ammunition to the defense systems built into their towering walls. The underground structure was designed so carefully that they wouldn't find a single gap in the engineering blueprint. And that's assuming we'd even be able to get our hands on Londinium's blueprints. That's kind of impossible in and of itself. Then how did Logos and Misery get inside? I thought Kelsey would be able to get us in. How did Logos and Misery get inside? Doctor, have some faith in our elite operators. It's not like I don't have faith, I'm just curious, Amiya, I'm sorry. Blaze is an expert in high mobility combat, and Rosmontis is the core of our annihilation force. Those two are masters of this very particular arts that are useful for infiltration missions. Once you've seen Misery's Originium arts in action, you understand what I mean. You've probably heard Lava talk about spatial arts. That's heading in the right direction of explaining Misery's arts, but it's not the whole story. Before joining Rose Island, he even managed to infiltrate the dynastic catacombs of ancient Sargon. As for Logos, he has his own unique methods that require a specially trained caster. I think if there's a way for living things to get in and out of the city, there's no wall that could stop them. We also have another special operator joining us after we get into the city, but we probably won't be able to get in touch. We probably won't be able to get in the same way she did. So many elite operators here. So that's why you found us a guide. Really? I'm really glad we're not starting with a fight. So that's why you've got us a guide. Understandable. And ow, my eyes sting right now. Let me just close them for a tiny bit. It's hot. It's hot tonight. Some sweat got into my eyes and it stings. It's salty and it burns. Oh, it hurts. I hate that feeling. I hate it so much. Gosh darn it, summer heat. Why you do this? And why must I hurt myself so? It stings. I'm just gonna keep my eyes closed a little bit longer. Catch the corners of my eyes. Just to see if that helps it. Actually, no, I'll force myself to blink. Ow, the pain. Okay, there. So that's why you found us a guide. Ow, though. Ow. Right, I wanted to try something a bit safer first. We should save our strength for the tougher enemies. They're waiting out there. Doctor, I can feel everyone getting tenser each day. We get closer to Londinium. But no matter what happens next, we're all ready to fight. What about you, Amiya? Doctor, you already know if we have to make a stand right here, it wouldn't be Closure doing it, or any of the operators who came here with their own ideals. I feel like Teresa's is more of a threat. He's edgy. The responsibility is mine. Though maybe it would be Siege's too. Back to the desert. Indra. You're awake, Vina? You haven't gotten a wink of sleep all day. Might be good to get some shut-eye before we officially return to the city. I can't sleep. Shouldn't Indra and Dogda be back already? Heh. I don't even know if I should be jealous of those two. Even though they sign up for the job to buy you some time to rest up, they just worry you anyway. I should have gone with them. Ever since I came back, I can't close my eyes without seeing everything that happened back when we ran. If they're in danger, I should be with them. No, I should be standing in front of them. Look, you. Always worry too much. You're just warming up a bit before their homecoming. How dangerous could it be? Setting Dogda aside for now, did you see how fidgety Hannah looked? Huh. If you didn't give her a little task to help her blow off some steam, I bet she wouldn't have been able to control herself. Probably would have punched someone the moment we got back to the city. Have I thought about what I want to stream in the vacant spaces in my schedule? If I can, of course, my goal is to finish Talamo's Route and Fate Extella because I'm at the end. There's like 2 more chapters for her route. And that's doable. That's like 2 hours worth. I want to continue Goddess of Victory, Nike. I need more gems. I'm so upset with the gacha banner. I'm being trolled. I can never summon a character named Mary, and this is a limited banner for her summer version. I'm like, Mary, I could never get your regular self, and your summer self is being cruel to me. I've spent like, let me think. Oh no, I think like just in total for the runtime of her banner so far, I think I spent like maybe $100, and she said no to me. And I'm like, but ma'am, Mary, please let me summon you, Mary. Come on, Mary. So I should just speed through at least 3 or maybe 2, 3-ish more sections of the story, get a bunch of free gems, and try again and again and again and again. Mary, gosh darn you, Mary. And then also, I was told that there is going to be some events in Fate that's going to require me to be further in the story than I currently am, that are coming out this year. I might as well get further just so I can do those events and not like, oh no, time to rush like Oniland cries. And then maybe, just maybe, if there's still more time, I want to do more side quests in Honkai Star Rail. I want more of those special currencies, what was it, shield? Yeah, mainly the shield and the Herta coins. Those would be nice to get, especially the shield. Delicious. She handles herself a lot better now. Humph, if that was true, she wouldn't be arguing back and forth with Dagda all the time. Even though she knows you haven't been sleeping well, she still won't shut up. How about it, Vina? Want to sneak a peek at our old home while we're out? They only know how to throw fists. I'm the brains here, so I'm naturally the most reliable. I think one stream for Arknights would be good, just because like there's no upcoming events where I'd have to be more caught up, right? Yeah. Assuming. Because story-locked events hurt. They really do. Why are you talking smack behind our backs again? Look at that, Vina. Doesn't she seem a lot more energetic than before? Huh? A laugh out of Vina? You've been totally lost in thought this whole trip. You idiot. Why even talk about that? You know how hard it was for me too. Thank you, Morgan. Except, I'd suggest you get some sleep, some rest yourself. If I needed someone to manage my mood for me, I'd be a pretty useless leader. Alright, sounds good to me. Dagda. Here. You're bleeding? I'm fine, it's not my blood. Like, yeah, this is blood, but not my blood. Heh. I'm glad. And honestly, like, depending on what days I stream for how long I can do the streams. Like, for Monday to Friday, I've been working from, like, 8:30 to 5:30-ish, so gotta force myself to get ready, stuff for work, and not stay up too late, aka not past midnight. So after I finish, usually I just try to eat a snack, prepare for the night, and then prepare for work in the morning, and then I do the thing, aka work. And then I think the day that I can't stay at the latest, that would probably be Friday, just because I've been doing collabs at like 5 a.m. So I gotta wake up at like 4 something. Those men, they were Dublin, right? What'd you think of them? They're about as strong as the regular standing army. And the one squad captain that Indra and I took down fought with combat techniques that were distinctly very distinctly shown signs of Victorian military training. In other words, we might actually be dealing with a coup of some kind. Are they working with the Sarkaz? They have no love for the Sarkaz, but that probably hasn't stopped them from forging a temporary alliance. They want to carve up Londinium. No,
probably much more than just Londinium. Those dukes out there, how many of them support Dublin? How many support the Sarkaz? For shame! They'd rather let the flags of foreign foes fly over Londinium than go out of their pitiful little power struggles, obsessed with their game of political tug-of-war. These dukes and their troops are responsible for creating this crisis. Now that we've come this far, it's finally time for us to put an end to this mess. I've said it countless times, as a knight of the tower, my sword and I stand ready. Oh, so she is a knight. Ooh. We're just waiting for you to lead us back to Londinium and gather up all those willing to fight for you. Dogda, we agreed not to talk about that until after we got back. But we're already at the gates of Londinium. Didn't I tell you, Morgan? I'm not the only one who's sick of her. She's been acting a bit kooky lately, and she keeps blathering about random nonsense. Hey, Dogda, you don't even carry a sword on you, and I don't care if you're a knight or not. Just don't forget what weapon you have at your hands and whose side you're on. Don't be too hard on her, either of you. We all have a past. Can't shrug aside. The reason we're all here today is precisely because we still have a score to settle. I told you before, Dogda, I don't want to let any of you down. Siege. I'm sorry. I swore to trust you, and I swore to trust that you'd make the right decisions, but I lost myself today. Don't blame yourself. Our primary objective is still to enter Londinium with Rhodes Island. Is the one you rescued talking to Mia right now? Yes, Balin took him to see Mia and the doctor. And Balin's probably thinking, okay, I left the group, yay, I want to go back to the bunny group. This cat group scares me. Looks just like your average Londoner. It could be a disguise. The Dublin fighter said he used to work for the Sarkaz, but he deserted them. Those Sarkaz, I've fought them before. They killed the other knights of the tower. Dogda. I'm fine, but we still can't underestimate them. The fact that this guy managed to escape the city on their watch means he's probably more than meets the eye. If he really was that ordinary, Dublin wouldn't care to abduct him, and Rhodes Island wouldn't be looking for him, right? Let's head over and see what's going on. I want to see if he really can lead us into Londinium. That guy's really important, huh? I thought he was just some random hostage. Amia, there's a communication request on Blacksteel's channel. Please put them through. Amia? Did you get our signal? I'm sorry to say that by the time we got to the scene, the pilot Blacksteel hired was already dead. How could this happen? Or Thorpe. I'll let the rest of the team know. We also weren't able to retrieve the low-altitude aircraft. It was, destroyed during the battle. Yeah, destroyed during the battle. Jessica looks the same as always, very professional. An aircraft was rented, but, that's not too big of a problem. We still have spare vehicles, so it won't disrupt the operation. Is Mr. Thomas with you right now? Yes, he's a bit shaken up still, but he doesn't seem to have any injuries. Our medics are looking after him right now. Is he the informant you said that could get us into Londinium? That's right. Mr. Thomas, who used to own a candy plant in Londinium's Sudean Borough, and his uncle who lives in Colombia, are longtime partners of Black Steel. Ooh, candy! I want some candy. His uncle put in a request to bring Mr. Thomas back to Colombia,
The last time we talked, we told Mr. Thomas that we bring someone to pick him up if he found some way to leave Londinium. I just never expected that Dublin would hijack your aircraft. And by the way, they seem very interested in Mr. Thomas too. Really? I suppose that's because Mr. Thomas is very familiar with Sudan. It's the place closest to you with the point of entry and exit. I'm sure he can help you find a suitable way in, and they're probably after him for very similar reasons. Right, I'll ask if he's willing to help us once he's rested up. Say again, please? We lost contact with the team sent to link up with the embassy. I see. Sorry, Amiya, but something just came up. That's alright. Take care of what you need to do. Have to first. We'll go talk to Mr. Thomas. Do your best. I hope that it doesn't come off the wrong way. Maybe there's a better way to say it. Amiya? And you too, Doctor. Good luck. Thank you, Jessica. Mr. Thomas?
So you're the one.
Which one?
We didn't expect you to come so quickly. Quite an unexpected surprise.
We were... quick? We've been worried about you ever since we heard from Black Steel. By the way, Mr. Thomas, are you feeling unwell at all? I just noticed that your expression looks a bit different now.
I might have gotten ahead of myself.
Me, it's a good thing you can tell because I can't really tell since his eyes are hidden by his hair. I can't really tell too much for his expression.
What I mean to say is, thank you. Madam, you and your subordinate saved me. I have no doubt that you're good people.
There's no need to thank us. If you're a partner to Black Steel, you're also a partner to us. And there's something else I need your opinion on. We have work that needs doing inside Londinium. On our way here, we heard a little bit about what's going on inside the city. Right now, Londinium isn't allowing anybody into the city without authorization. From the perspective of outside visitors like us, those high walls are an impossible obstacle. We've tried a few methods directly, but it's far too difficult for a business like ours to pass through a military blockade. As you can see, we only have a few office clerks with us, and we would like to know if there is a safe way to get inside Londinium.
You're trying to get inside Londinium? You know, the people inside are desperately trying to escape. Those damn sarcasts, they're just too horrible.
I understand that. And that's why I'm not going to force you to help us. I'm also not going to lie to you and try to cover up the potential dangers of working with us. But if you're willing to show us the way, we'll escort you to Blacksteel's evacuation team once all is said and done. If you don't want to go back, we won't blame you. You can go ahead and leave right now, and we'll look for another way inside the city.
Of course
If you leave,
you may bump into Dublin.
I mean, I understand the way out isn't exactly very safe. Nah, I'm just gonna put that in his mind. If you leave now, you might bump into Dublin and get kidnapped again. Would you really want that, Mr. Thomas? Are you sure, Mr. Thomas?
Of course I'll choose to work with you.
Thank you. Here's to fruitful cooperation. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for coming to this decision all on your own. Here's to a fruitful cooperation, Mr. Thomas. Doctor. Amiya, don't look at me like that. I never intended to threaten him. If he didn't want to help us, I would have arranged for someone to escort him. I know that's you, Amiya, but I am different, Amiya. I'm not against little, thought-provoking sentences like that. I know. I was just stating the facts, Amiya. You're playing good cop, bad cop. You're the good cop, I'm the bad cop.
I'm the questionable cop. Looks like we found our guide.
That's right, Amiya's making moves. Mr. Thomas agreed to cooperate with us just now.
The way of the life of the sarcasm. Well, it'll be good to at least see them kind of like in their more or less home turf-ish kind of. Versus all the other times I've seen them. They're just being used and used and used and abused like Mephisto. Oh, the zombies. All the zombies. It's time for a homecoming.
Oh, cute! You know, even though it's kind of early, I'm just gonna take that as a potential thumbnail for later. Oh, that's adorable. I like this group photo. Wait, let's see. It's starting to zoom out some more. Oh, it's done zoom. Or is it still zooming? It's still zooming. And, you know, this is good enough. It's zoomed out enough. That's cute. That is adorable. Closure, go ahead and call your drones back. Well, are we finally going to start the operation? It's not safe to stay outside the city for too long either. Thanks to Misery's intel, we've largely been able to bypass Dublin's troops. But we just got to the fight with Dublin, and judging from our previous experiences, the leader of that squad can be a bit vengeful.
You think they'll come after us?
I can't say for sure. That depends on whether or not they've given up on Mr. Thomas. Even if we successfully enter the city, we might end up having to fight the Sarkaz troops garrisoned inside the Dublin's forces and faced at the same time. Ugh. If only I could splash a coat of stealth paint on our operators too. We'll be fine. We've already done everything we can to prepare for this day. Doctor, please stand beside me. Just like always, I won't let anyone hurt you. Let's get ready to move out. Attention, all members of Special Ops Squad Amiya. We are now heading directly for the port of Sudayan, Londinium. I just want like at least one happy story for the Sarkaz, because it's just been oof for them over and over and over. They've just been taking lots and lots of L's.
Captain, I've checked our surroundings, and there's no signs of any Londiniers.
In other words, your entire squad wasn't enough to stop a few people, and you even let them take our crucial objective.
Captain.
Rubbish. The whole lot of you.
Ma'am.
Stop sniveling. It's irritating. When have you ever seen me hurt my own people? Besides, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself. Even something as minor as this, not a single thing has gone smoothly since we come to Londinium. Those damned Sarkaz. Those meddlesome nobles too. And then there's that blasted Victorian soldier, the one they call Horn. It's all Harmony's fault. She forced me to bring the wolf along to Londinium, with all the talk about how she'd be able to use the soldiers to buy the support of some nobles sitting at the fence if she were to come here. If I knew she was going to run away and continue to be a thorn in our side, I would have killed her right there at County Hillock.
Captain, this time, I don't think it was her.
It wasn't?
According to the survivors, the attackers are people we've never seen before. They didn't appear to be Victorian military either.
So what you're telling me is a couple of nobodies can appear out of thin air and snatch a man from right under our noses.
It's completely our fault, Captain. We'll track them down right away.
Hold it. Stop bumbling around. We're about to leave this place.
We're leaving?
Otherwise, do you plan on bunkering down the street? We're not ready to go masks off with the Sarkaz yet. Also, I promised Harmony that I let the nobles keep some of their stupid pride. It's all for the sake of Dublin, or the leader.
Understood, Captain.
I don't think the hate the Sarkas get is justified. Like, I feel bad for them. People are just being prejudiced. You say you understand, but deep down, you don't understand anything at all. Otherwise, how would you have let the Londinier get away? Do you have any idea how important that information he has on him is?
He was the one driving for the Sarkas.
Yes, driving. If he can drive for the Sarkas, that obviously means he knows his way around. He can help us find the ones we're looking for. Our compatriots who are still in Sarkas' hands, but are of great importance to us. Why do you think I'm swallowing my disgust and dealing with the Sarkas here in Londinium? Just the way they look at us makes me want to run them through with stones 100 times over. It's just because, after coming all this way, I can finally do something useful for the leader. Oh, Manjagora, your love for the leader is still as strong as ever. Leader's #1 simp.
I'm sorry, Captain.
A driver. Humph. You just reminded me of something. The ones who snatched him from us, were they also looking for a guide?
Captain, do you mean?
We're turning back right now. I want to see if I can come across any familiar faces at the port. Say, for example, that bloody Victorian soldier. I think she'll be even more shocked.
Not so fast, you lot. Once the captain comes back and we get some reliable information, then we'll let you go. To be honest, I'd rather not raise a hand against you. You've been slaves to the Sarkas for so long. You can't even be called soldiers anymore. But it's not my call. If we can't get any useful information out of you, the boss won't want to keep you around. And I can't let you go either. What if you fall into the Sarkas' hands again and spill our plans? I say, how about you join Dublin? Never mind, you were Tehran's. Never mind. If you were Tehran's, the boss would have had you change clothes already. It's up to you whether or not you believe me. I, for one, would rather be out there killing Sarkas than interrogating you bunch.
Sheesh, though, everyone really hates them here.
Look, Londinium's fallen into the hands of the devils, and who is to blame for that, old friend? I heard you barely even put up a fight. You just surrendered to the Sarkas one by one.
Yeah, we are pretty much closely intertwined with the Sarkas. It'll be interesting once we get Amiya in here. As in into Londinium right now.
Who made the Victorian army? Once the scourge of all of Terra, so weak and pathetic. Where's your commander, still wearing a fancy uniform, off drinking with the Sarkas? The commanders are right. Victoria really is rotten to the core. Without us cauterizing it, this great place will turn into a swamp of rotten detritus that won't even burn. Soldier, you should feel grateful that you even get to die at the hands of your former countrymen. At least your pride as a Victorian soldier won't be tarnished by the stench of those devils. You people betrayed Victoria. People betrayed Victoria and still have the gall to pay lip service to pride. Who's there? I won't let you lay a finger on our troops. The occupiers are unworthy, and you, Dublin, are even less worthy. You're the one who fled. Urgh. The 8th nest has been wiped out. You're here to save us? Stand up, soldier. Let's get out of here first. Soldier? You're a lieutenant? Which company are you with? I didn't think we still had anyone. Rita Scamandros. 7th Frontline Infantry Battalion, 2nd Tempest Platoon Leader. Or Horn, if it pleases you. She just pulled a "come with me if you want to live."
And I'll do one more. My parents will still be awake after this. I gotta talk to them, that's why. Heads down. 'Cause I know my uncle is coming tomorrow. aka Thursday. But at the same time, Thursday is my little bro's birthday, and I don't know what we're doing still. They haven't told me. And I need to know if I have to buy any food, or if we're going out, or what's going on. They don't tell me anything until it's like last minute, even though I ask so much and they never give me a straight answer. Because I don't want to accidentally overbuy stuff, because due to communication issues, sometimes we've done things like, oh, I bought a cake. I also bought a cake. Whoops. And over here, who's over here on this side? No, let's bring Texas again. But yeah, I have no idea what to get. Feel kind of bad. So last minute planning. 9:09 a.m. overcast. Port 309, Syrian Borough, Londinium. The port is right ahead. Are you worried about something? Actually, things have been going pretty well so far. With one exception. Doctor. The messenger who's been in contact with you and Dr. Kelsey should have reached out to us as soon as we arrived at the adjacent plate. Think something happened to her? If we can't get in touch, we can't know for sure. But I can only hope that nothing happened to her. We'll enter the city as we originally planned. Look at how long that line is. They're all coming from the direction of the city. Long line? Line?
We're really going to run away like this?
This way's safe. My neighbor's whole family left this way last week. As long as we've applied for the exit permits, the soldiers won't give us any trouble.
That's not what I meant.
I know. We're thinking the same thing. 4 years ago, when I first heard about the Sarkas army on the news, didn't think much of it back then.
Yeah, same here. Their Majesty gone, everything's turned to shit. Who could have expected that some duke would invite the devils into the army on a whim?
2 years ago, I saw Sarkas troops walking down the streets of Trenfield. Everyone was talking about it as we walked home from work.
I also remember. It was as if things quietly changed overnight. Those of us who live at the Duke's estate in Camden wouldn't see these changes until a bit later.
Something like half a year ago, the Sarkas army stood in front of our bank. They took away our manager because her husband held an important position in the city's defense forces.
Ew. Did you ever see them again? The police force in our estate was replaced with all new faces, plenty with horrible horns on top.
And then there's yesterday. I saw the Sarkas going to the corner opposite to my home. They were knocking on doors.
Oh, scary. Knocking on doors, you say? So that's when you decide to flee?
Actually, my parents left a long time ago. I just didn't put down my banker salary.
None of us wanted this. Londinium, if we leave, we'll never be able to go back to our old lives, right?
Let's not worry about that for now. We should get going. I'd rather stay alive than make money. Dot dot dot. Is this like every day?
More or less, since a certain point.
Teresa's army. They're not stopping the civilians from leaving the city?
By the looks of things, he doesn't seem to care about letting outsiders know who holds the reins of power in Londinium now.
And the other nobles don't care? What's going on in Parliament, and the other nobles don't care? The Londinium NPC's designs, they look extra casual here. Which isn't bad. They just look extra normal. Super normal. Like I'm so used to the fancy outfits. I'd assume they'd always have an eye on Londinium, which is why they have troops stationed outside the city. But they're more concerned about watching each other's moves. For the dukes who've been trying to get into Londinium, whoever gets ahead in taking down the Sarkaz inside the city will gain the upper hand in this power struggle that lasted over 20 years. Who would want to see the throne claimed by someone else when in their minds it rightfully belongs to them? The way things are now, anything the Duke might pull can be stopped by a few messages, an invitation to a party, or even a little bad news from their own demesne. And even if one of them decide to march on the city, they'd be walking right into a defeat. The Sarkaz regent wouldn't lose a single man. As for the specifics of what's going on inside the city, we won't know until we see for ourselves. Excuse me. I brought you all the way here. You'll be able to you'll be able to go the rest of the way on your own, right? Yes, sure. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. You've done us a great favor. All squads, listen up. Follow the plan and mingle in with the flow of traffic ahead in batches. Closure squad will go first to make sure the road ahead of us is clear. Then Siege's squad will follow up, with me and Doctor's squad behind that. Recon squad, keep a close eye on our surroundings and report any abnormalities right away. Fallen, you'll be in charge of taking Mr. Thomas back the same way we came.
Amiya,
What is it?
there's a disturbance up ahead. Looks like Sarkaz fighters incoming.
What? Everyone, the infiltration operation is on hold. Take cover. Hide yourselves.
Grab that one, right there. What's going on? Where are the Sarkaz here?
I mean, they're choosing you for random duels, clearly, because all of you guys have like a little dueling or a deck pouch on your sides. I see that. Both the ladies and the dudes, they have pouches for their decks. For dueling, clearly, right?
Didn't you say this way was safe? I'm talking to you. Stop right there. Hurry, hurry. We're almost out of the city. Gah! Wrong one.
Sir, please, don't hurt me. I'll go. Did we do something wrong?
Go, scurry off. Don't stand here blocking our way. Listen up, nobody move. Stop what you're doing and stand still. You. You and you. Turn around and let me see your face. What's in your bag? Is it a weapon? Pour everything out and let me see.
Sir, it's just my deck. My new deck.
Why is there a burn mark on your face? It looks pretty fresh too. Yeah, you. Get out of line. You burn your face baking bread. Do you take us for fools?
But stoves, I'm imagining they're using like a brick stove. I could easily see them getting burned. They're a baker using like a brick stove, or brick oven, I mean. Brick ovens are hot as heck. I can feel the heat emanating. I wish I could see their faces. But then again, the other Sarkaz designs, I could never really see their faces. I mean, these ones look more knightly.
Humph. It really wasn't our weapons. Just to be sure, you're not a rebel, right? Got too scared and passed out, huh? Whatever. We'll bring this one with us. Lieutenant, we're stuck here. It's my fault. Before I brought you here, I should have made sure we weren't being followed. Please don't talk like that. We've all been through worse, whether it's my bunch that got captured by Dublin, or old Tom's group who were tortured by the Sarkaz. We're pretty much dead men walking until you rescued us. That really was a taste of despair. I'd rather die in battle than live inside the enemy's cage, powerless and addled. You are not to blame for Londinium's fall, not in the slightest. And you are even less to blame. You were the one who pulled us out of the desperate situation. At least I was able to get here my own 2 legs and to live an extra hour. I said I didn't have the will to fight anymore, but you didn't blame me. You even risked yourself to bring us here. Leave us, Lieutenant. If you're alone, you can hide. Avoid their line of sight and find a safe place. We're sickly and chewed up. We'll only slow you down. I'd never leave any of you behind. Ha. If our officers back there were like you, then maybe. We wouldn't have lost so quickly and disastrously.
Horn's like, not again. I cannot lose another squad. No!
It took meeting you to make me realize that I wanted to make a difference, to be like you. You mean?
No, you mustn't!
Hey, if the few of us charge at once, how many sarcasts do you reckon we could take with us? Listen to me right now. None of you move. That's an order. An order? Fine. You're my commanding officer right now. I'll obey your orders. We still have a few minutes until we face the sarcasts. Keep your heads down. Remember what I told you. You're all vagrants from neighboring estate. You got hurt fighting each other over a piece of bread. You expect the sarcasts to buy that? Sudan is in a complete mess these days. They've probably seen it all. Doesn't matter if they buy it or not, even if they try to interrogate you. Just bear with it for a while. And if you can't take it anymore, we understand. If the sarcasts find out, no one betrays the others. If you can't take it anymore, that's when I'll make my move. Lieutenant? Let's wait and see for now.
I hope we notice this, and then that way we could be like, hey, it's Horn! Hey, girl!
Nothing over here. What about over there? There are a few more over there, and behind that elevator too. This damn place has too many hiding spots. You lot, go take a closer look over there.
Those fighters seem to be looking for someone. Squads, report your current positions. Positions confirmed. They don't seem to be after us. I think we haven't been made yet. They don't seem to be after us, at least. Seems like it. Doctor, do you still remember the tabletop exercise we did with Dr. Kelsey before we left? One possibility is that the messengers we had, active around Londinium and Victoria, all failed. They didn't have time to provide us with the accurate intel, and Teresa's was able to see all of our moves. In that case, Teresa's personal guard would be there waiting for us the moment we set foot in Londinium. But it doesn't look like that's what's happening. Actually, I thought I'd see it be a confessarius. Surely we wouldn't be that incompetent. I'll just say ... because we gotta be quiet. But if they hear me say something, you're like, hey, you look sus. I think we've more or less reached the same conclusion. Teresa's doesn't know we're here yet. Otherwise, he would have had a very hard time even making it this far. I mean, he knows we're on our way, though. If that's true, then these Sarkis fighters up ahead must be searching for someone else who could potentially come this way. Huh? Mr. Thomas?
Amiya, he tried to bolt. I barely managed to stop him. No, let me go. I can't stay here.
Mr. Thomas, you better not run off on your own. That'd be terribly dangerous. I mean, Mr. Thomas, don't look sus. You're trying to hide, right? If they see you running, they'll be like, hey, you, stop! I promised you I'd send an operator to escort you. I'm really sorry, but that's not something we can do right now.
Ouch.
Wait, you can't just take our operator's weapon.
Sorry, but I don't want to die.
And now you're gonna die, just because you did this. What's going on here? It's pretty obvious. He thinks the Sarkas are after him. And now he's going into panic.
I don't want this either. I was just a driver for 6 months, that's all. They took over my candy plant and forced me to ship things for them. I have a family. What am I supposed to do? The day I took a tiny peek, just one glance, how could I have known that what they were doing in my plant? With my plant, they've been chasing me ever since. If they catch me, they're gonna kill me for sure. Why'd you have me do this anyway? I'm going to die no matter where I run. I can't just sit here and wait to die. Mr. Thomas.
Fallen, Don't chase after him. We can't afford to blow our cover. I wish you could do that, like, mysterious, like, back of the neck chop and just knock him out.
I'll just keep running away from Londinium. I don't even care about Dublin anymore.
Huh?
How could it, or...
It's not up to you to decide whether or not you care about Dublin. Get him? That's what you get, Mr. Thomas. You could have stayed with us, Mr. Thomas, but no, no, no. Well, have fun with Mandragora. I mean, clearly he'll have lots of fun there with her, right? Like, sure, lots and lots of fun. That's what you get, Mr. Dublin. I mean, Mr. Dublin, that's what you get, Mr. Thomas. Now the Dublin forces are gonna be taking care of you. Taking care of you. Yes, indeedy. That's what you get, my dude. Shouldn't have been sus. That's what happens when you're being sus. You've been a good boy, but nope. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'll just have her... Or I'll have her here, actually. And I'll put down Chen over here. Ooh! There's some creepy crawlies. Hello, creepy crawlies. Hi there, what are you doing? You give me slight fear. I mean, no fear, never feel fear. It's not like if I destroy them, they turn into even more little thingies. That one enemy. No fear, no fear. Oh, look at them crawling menacingly. Okay, that's sarcasm witchcraft. Spooky familiars. Phew.
Amiya, at this rate, Mr. Thomas is going to get captured by Dublin again.
Too late.
Are you planning to? That bloody bugger. I'll bring him back. No. Why are you stopping me? Didn't we go through all that trouble to rescue that bloke? The situation's changed. We can't blow Siege's cover. So you're just gonna let him go? That's not how the Glasgow gang does things. Don't make a ruckus here, either of you. Lena. Just listen to me and the doctor.
Sniper operators, on the enemies holding our mark. The important thing is that Castor, if I recall correctly, Doctor, according to Misery's intel and Bagpipe's report, she's the leader of Dublin's forces inside Londinium, and one of the instigators of the County Hillock incident. Rhodes Island doesn't put the blame for Outcast sacrifice entirely on her shoulders, but it's not just Misery and Bagpipe who hold a grudge against her. Mandragora, the little brat, who's super OP. Bagpipe tells us she's very hard to deal with. We could get into a fight with Dublin here, rescue Mr. Thomas, and even eliminate Mandragora, a formidable enemy who may pose a significant threat to our future operations. But
the Sarkas are coming.
We're too late. All squads continue to conceal yourselves. Be ready to engage.
What's going on over here? So noisy. Ugh. Oh, if it isn't you traitorous lot. Don't you dare use that word. We have nothing to do with Victoria now, devil. Humph. Who said you could call us that? Ha. A motley band of exiles taking advantage of the chaos to occupy a city. What made you delusional enough to think yourselves the masters of Londinium? Ha ha. Don't lump me in with your sorry band, thinking we actually give a damn about Londinium. The place is shiny and clean, isn't it? Doesn't reek of death, but if you ask me, it'll be more pleasing to the eye once it's burnt to cinders. The Sarkas are only here because our king is here.
Oh, Mandragora's arts are from one of the noble clans. Oh, they're the gargoyles. Their king? The Sarkas king? Are they talking about Teresa? I haven't heard anything about that, but a lot of intel reports disparate Sarkas fighters gathering in Londinium from across Terra, and it's not just the mercenaries we're familiar with. There are older, stronger powers now hovering around the heart of the city. Doctor, I can feel it. Since coming here, with each step closer I take, those emotions flow into the depths of my heart, tangle around my thoughts, and grow stronger and stronger. Amiya, are you alright? I'm fine, Doctor. It's just that, for a split second, it's as if, when I heard those Sarkas mention their king, a wisp of those emotions sprung up and latched onto me. I don't think I can give a better description of what I felt. We need to discuss this. I'd love to spend some time talking this through with you, but not now. Even if there were a Sarkas king who now controls Londinium, that doesn't change our mission. We came here to prevent a war. We need to figure out exactly what they're doing and what they're trying to do. And that has nothing to do with what Teresa's decides to call himself.
So, can we skip past the shitty pleasantries, Dublin? Turn over the man you captured. Why should I? We'll take good care of your old home. You bastard! Stop. Captain.
Not just you. You too, Sarkas.
I know who you are, Feline. You're the commander. But why should I listen to you?
Because I've been to the palace of West Taleg.
Haha. We've all heard the story. You wanted an audience with His Majesty, but he had you escorted out. Do you really think you mean anything to the Sarkas? Captain, why don't we just sit here and let these devils mock us? I can't take it anymore. Ever since we came to Londinium, we've had to live with this inferior race.
Not one more word.
We can go back and bring this up with the leader. I said, not one more word.
Sarkas, no matter how hard you try to provoke me, I'm not leaving. We are your guests, as the one you call His Majesty and his Privy Council agreed.
Do you really want to find out how the Sarkas deal with rowdy guests?
Well, at least one of us understands proper etiquette. We promised your regent and your generals that Dublin's troops would not set foot into the central Londinium. Likewise, you should not be detaining me here, Sarkas. Or, do you devils struggle to keep your word? Even spelled trustworthy?
Ha! You uppity feline! Isn't the fact that I haven't chopped you into pieces right here and now already proof that I'm honoring your little pretend friendship? If a Sarkas ever forgot his objective and started picking fights, he'd be found dead in the bar near the war zone pretty quick. We're here to root out some bottom feeders. These nobodies haven't learned their place yet. They're sneaking around, making a mess of our work.
By the sound of things, they're not looking for Mr. Thomas either. Could that be the friends of the messenger mentioned? The ones who can help us with our operation? The Sarkas certainly would call them an enemy. If they really are right here, maybe we could help them.
The line stopped moving. I hear fighting. The Sarkas must have gotten into a row with someone. Lieutenant, I saw their uniforms. It's Dublin. Her. The Dublin caster? She's a scary one. She killed some of our people. She impales them on stone pillars that come out of nowhere. Her methods are even more brutal than the Sarkaz. I know. Lieutenant, have you fought her too? What am I even saying? You saved so many from Dublin. You must have beaten her. I lost. But you still managed to get away with her with your life. That's already amazing enough. I'm still not exactly sure why she didn't kill me on the spot, but I have my guesses. At the barracks outside of Londinium, I saw them having secret meetings with the Count's messenger. I figured she must have shown me deliberately. Or maybe it wasn't her. Someone like her would have no way of knowing that my grandfather and the Count's father served together. They were very close. And the Count himself, if I recall correctly, was a squire to a duke. Lieutenant?
Well, I see that Horn truly hates Mandragora, but Mandragora is just like, eh. Horn's annoying, but whatever.
Sorry, I shouldn't be saying all this. During a long period of time, I was hiding in the dark bowels of the city. I got used to talking to the metal crabs. They didn't have much to say back. I didn't have to worry about my words casting a shadow over everyone else. Some things I just had to say to myself so I wouldn't forget them. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lieutenant. I'd actually like to hear more. For the longest time, I've been wanting to know who's pulling the strings up there, causing us all this misery. The Duke I was thinking of isn't even in Londinium right now, or rather, I should say, he never cared a lick about the vacant throne in the city. If he really were secretly supporting Dublin, that would answer a lot of questions, but at the same time, it would also greatly complicate the crisis we have on our hands. Listen to me. Everything I said to you up to this point is just baseless speculation. If you want to hear more, we'll continue another time. Provided you're willing to follow me into the shadows. What are we going to do now? Right now, we need to find an opportunity to escape. Dublin has been trying to get something from the Sarkaz. It might be the one individual or several. Which is why they set up Sudan. In addition to troops like you, hunted by the Sarkaz, they manage a good lot of civilians. They've captured a good lot of civilians with some connection to the Sarkaz. Whatever Mandragora is trying to accomplish, as long as it creates conflict between Dublin and the Sarkaz, it'll work in our favor. Sounds like you have a plan. Robin, did you make sure to hide the crossbow I gave you? Up your sleeves, right? Of course, Lieutenant. Aim at the Dublin soldier, the one closest to the Sarkaz.
Ooh, Horn is gonna instigate a fight. Hello. It looks like Dublin isn't backing down. The Sarkaz have a limit to their patience. This is going to boil over into a fight sooner or later. Doctor, we're going to have to use our backup plan. Backup plan?
Come on, turn him over and you'll all get to walk out of here alive. Let's make things easy for each other, why don't we? Captain, shouldn't we?
No.
I don't understand.
No means no. This is the last one I'm gonna do for tonight. Just because I want to talk to my parents before it gets too late. They'll be up for like a while probably. Depending. Some nights they sleep before midnight. Most nights they sleep after.
Even if it fractures our relationship with the Sarkaz?
You heard what they had to say. When have we ever been friends?
There you go. Those are your words, not mine. Formation! Round up these Dublin wretches.
He's absolutely critical to Dublin. Non-negotiable. If we can't bring him with us, our only option is to kill him here.
Wah!
Shut your trap. Actually, our other option is to kill all these Sarkaz.
Is Isn't it about time we make our entrance?
Hold on. We're still calibrating the aerial coordinates.
Look, if we don't act now, somebody's gonna get killed.
Give me a sec. 17 meters in a straight line. 16, 15.
Best to get a bit closer. You might have trouble aiming, right?
No can do. You'll spot us if I get any closer.
Just do as I say. It won't miss, trust me. Or I'll let you use my head as a rivet. Move it a little eastward and the reflection of light should cover its wings. Now!
Rock 5, you're up.
That's our cue. Robin, now! Hey, gah! Erg. What's the meaning of this? The hell are you talking about? You're the ones who try to snipe us. Fight back! Those who spill Sarkaz's blood will pay with the blood debt, with interest. Don't let us think one out of your alive.
Remember, you started this. With me. Slaughter every last Sarkaz. Don't let a single one live to tell the tale. The devil leadership mustn't learn what happened here today. Save me, someone, anyone!
Amiya, these civilians have nowhere to run. It's not just Mr. Thomas. So many are going to get caught in the crossfire. Neither the Sarkaz nor Dublin have any regard for civilian lives. Dr. Amiya, I'm sorry, but I can't just stand by and let this happen. I just can't.
We have no other choice, no worries. I understand. All operators, there's been a change of plans. All non-combat personnel are to remain hidden. All combat personnel, save as many lives as you can, but mind your own safety.
Another boat from behind. It came from those ones in civilian clothes. You're carrying unauthorized weapons. Something's not right. We got more hostiles in the elevator. Ah, looks like we've grabbed the pest's tail. Turns out the rebels are here. Report this to General Manfred right away.
Manfred? Well, I'll see General Manfred later. Yay. I have a little bit over an hour to relax before I have to force myself to close my eyes. Yay! With this, I will make myself some chocolate milk first, and then I can relax. Oh, sweet relaxation. It's nice being able to relax like an hour or two before forcing myself to knock out. After getting things through, it's gonna feel so good to lie down. So thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day and epic gacha luck. It's always nice to be able to just chill afterwards. And it's really hot. I'm sweating. I feel really gross actually. I'm gonna make myself some cold chocolate milk to cool down though. Gosh darn it. This is sad. This is summer heat at its worst, or finest technically. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. If only it wasn't so hot. The heat makes me... My poor eyes suffer.